Show. Howard 101.
Jay Thomas, the host.
I can't stand it, I tell you.
I love you guys are the best.
Jay Thomas Show.
It's the weirdest and the wildest. Horrible. Call 888-STERN-101.
Your name is?
Jay Thomas.
The Jay Thomas Show.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas.
Well, I'm in hot and humid New Orleans, Louisiana, actually just outside of New Orleans in the Mike Church Studios. He's on Sirius Patriot, which is the right-wing channel we have. What's weird is what's our Democratic channel? What are they? What is that like?
POTUS, yeah.
POTUS, yeah.
POTUS. What does that mean, POTUS?
President of the United States.
Oh, that's the CIA or the what do you call it? The not CIA.
Or it's a kid's cartoon about a duck.
Whatever.
I'm not sure which one. Sorry, that's Pocoyo. We got that wrong.
Isn't there yelling and screaming about all kinds of shit? God, how do you do that all day? I don't understand. Yelling and screaming. I mean, everybody says they don't give a shit about the election, and yet, you turn on the TV and it's,
I don't think there's any part of my body that will ever be passionate about taxes. Ever. About anything.
63% of Republicans, to this day, in a recent survey, still believe that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction when we invaded. They don't know where they went.
Yeah, right.
It's It's really amazing. I tell you what it is. It's the need not to be wrong. That's what it is. 64% of Republicans believe that Barack Obama was born in another country and should not be the president. You know what would be funny? I hope they prove it and fucking crazy Joe Biden becomes president. Surely every comic in the world would be kissing the ground and shit.
Yeah. That's a gift. That would be a gift from the comedy gods.
60% of Americans say the next president will have little or no impact on unemployment. They're absolutely correct. First of all, only Congress can pass laws. And secondly, I don't think, it's some business guys or I don't know. The same fucking crooks that got us into it will get us out of it. I mean,
into something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Almost 80% of Mormons say they're excited about Mitt Romney, but 70% of them believe that this will bring bad publicity to the faith because comedians will be making fun of him. The best first joke is, I wonder how many first ladies he'll have. That's my
right.
Thank you, Al. I'm glad you had it. I'm glad you had that one ready to go. Newt Gingrich said it's going to be bad for Barack Obama when Bill Clinton nominates him at the convention, because then the country will see what a great leader and president is like. Bill Clinton. Didn't he try and impeach Bill Clinton? Didn't he? He hated Bill Clinton, didn't he? He hated his guts.
I'm sure he did.
I'm waiting for one of the Republicans to say, you know what else? I'm just going to say it. He's black, okay?
Am I the only one who got this memo?
Yeah, he's black. I just don't like it. Yeah, I mean, just
He gets real close to the mic and he just goes, is anybody seeing what I'm seeing? And he's pointing with his head,
My mother was psycho about it.
Starts talking through his teeth. He's like, doing pig Latin. It's on the monkey.
Jay, you all right over there?
Well, it's funny because, that's
I paint
like
a mental picture.
Yeah, that's my mother. I love that Hillary Clinton was dancing, and everybody makes fun of Hillary Clinton.
Right.
And the best dancers in the world are the Barack Obama family. Are you kidding? Yeah. Oh man, they can dance.
It's like Soul Train. They're gonna do the jumble word game next.
Is it just my imagination, or if the women's Olympic soccer team was in football, they would be fined and thrown out of the league for excessive celebration? They are the biggest group of fucking cheering assholes I have ever seen. They taunt. They taunt the other team. They won the gold, and they dance and shit, and I hate them. I hate their fucking guts. I mean, I hate them as much as I hate the beach volleyball player.
And if they were men, you wouldn't hate them as much?
Yeah, absolutely I would hate them.
Just want to make sure that's clear.
The beach volleyball women, they don't like men, and yet they're so fucking fine. You just hope the game goes far enough so you can pop a nut while you're watching the competition. Their bodies are so fucking unbelievable. I mean,
it's such a catch-22 because you have these physical specimens that they're just
God.
They're thoroughbred of women, just pure, just built for the ride.
Just like you, Gianna.
Imagine
they're very
that
close
party.
To your,
Thank you very much.
You would be a shot putter if you were in the Olympics. You have that Zoftic shot
I'm no
putter
longer
body.
Zoftig.
Well, you know what I mean. You're in good. I mean that in a good way.
He's not saying clean and jerk competition. He's saying
No.
By the way, did you see we got a guy out here for the Jets, Nick Mangold,
sister.
and his sister is like a deadlifter. And holy fuck, man! Throw a Jets jersey on her. She is ready.
She is
tough.
She weighs like 249 or two. I just saw the picture of her, and she's really funny. I want to get her on the show. He is like 6'5", 320.
He's a big fan of the Stern channels too. He's been up here for a tour and stuff. He's a good dude.
And she is huge, and she was deadlifting. No, she was clean and jerking. It didn't seem like a lot of weight. It was 175, 180 pounds or something like that. I mean, certainly I could never do it. But what you do is you lift it really fast, and then you flip your wrists.
Well, it's like three stages of lifting. You got to lift it.
She tore the tendons in her wrist.
Yeah.
About 2 or 3 weeks ago or whatever. And so she came in like, I don't know what, 15th or 10th or whatever, and she's going to do the next one. But she's really funny about it. And, I mean, she works out with her brother. She's like, huge.
She looks like, I think she could kick her brother's ass. And he's an NFL tough fucking player.
He was there in London, watching her. And, goddamn, she's big. She's just fucking huge. Fabulous. They had a woman referee do a game last night in San Diego. I looked for 5 minutes, but I don't know what she did or whatever, but I was thinking during the week, it's because they've locked out the refs or something, right? So they have this woman who coaches, who does college football. And so they had her reffing last night. And where is it? Oh, here it is right here. Her name is Shannon Easton. And, she's got that doesn't like men look. She's got that Susie Orman face on her.
That Nancy Grace gleam in her eye.
I wish, what I don't like, and I mean this, Gianna, it's okay. Women could do anything. It's just that they lose their femininity when they join in a man's business or whatever. Even the women that are on Wall Street or become
attorneys. That's everything my book is about, Jay.
What book?
The book I have coming out.
I know, but I mean, who's going to publish the book?
I'm publishing the book.
Really? Are you one of the major publishers in the world? I didn't know that.
Old school and unnecessary.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
So where do you put it? On the internet? You put it on the
Yeah, that's the writing the book's the
e-book?
easy part.
The ebook?
No, it's going to be a real book. It's hard. It's soft copy. It's on every.
What's the name of it again? What's
Fierce
the name
over 40, from fat and broke to fit and fabulous over 40.
That's you. You were fat and broke, and now you're fierce and fabulous.
Yes.
So in your book, one of the big chapters is the women
about being feminine, not trying to be a man. Like that's not how you're going to make it in the world.
You should write a book about self-publishing.
I don't need to write a book about self-publishing.
Shuli, this is why people hate you.
I know.
It's already booked.
Oh, man, I must get 100 emails a week. Hey, you're good. She's good. Hey, it's terrible. fucking hate
I think we all get those emails, and by that I don't mean the other person's terrible. I just mean we all get the email saying I'm terrible.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Listen, I'm looking for a reaction either way, Jay. I don't mind it. As long as you react and you're listening.
I send a note back and go, I know Howard forces me to keep it. I have all kind of...
I write the same thing about you.
Jay,
those Jews stick together, you know?
I was in the presence of a New York Met yesterday.
Oh, wait, let's finish this now.
Okay.
So the woman, if you gals could just keep focus.
Yeah.
We're done.
Why don't you write a book called All Over
No,
the
we're
Place
not done.
Over 40?
So she's 42, and she's gotten this opportunity. It's her 17th season as a college football official. She's in the Mideast Conference, and she's the first woman to ever be a referee. They've had some women basketball, maybe in the Continental League, and they've had a couple of women umpires in the minor leagues, but they've never had this before. And Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald has been very supportive and extremely kind when she came. But a lot of the players...
He is supportive. His quote was, "Let's give these bitches a chance."
Well, I want to tell you something.
Thank you, Al.
You know good and well. I mean, I played football, and you don't really talk to the ref very much. But you say stuff to him every now and again. Like, let's say you're in the middle of a drive, and he calls a guy, who barely moved his finger, and they call offsides, right? They call movement in the line, right? And you go, come on, ref. It wasn't, with this woman, come on, wasn't offsides, bitch. I didn't touch him, bitch.
Or like if they ever they get to the major leagues and bad pitch and manager comes out and manager's like, "What the hell's wrong with you? You know what? I'm bleeding out of my pussy. I don't need to hear your shit today. I don't give a fuck. You're bleeding out of your pussy. Yeah, well you should, because I'll come over and kill you and your whole fucking family. Oh yeah, you're gonna kill my family? Give me some fucking ice cream on your way to the clubhouse, you cocksucker."
It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, it opens up, the sad thing is that you can't
I got
argue.
a date with Haagen-Dazs. I don't need your shit right now.
Yeah, you can't say the stuff to a woman that you can say to a guy. I don't know. I asked somebody about I guess the other night, Giardi from the Yankees got thrown out. Right, you got the third game of the season. What are they arguing about? Is it a real argument, or is it for the fans?
I can understand the argument if they've never thrown anyone out of a game ever. Then you got an argument. You go, why am I the first guy? But you know what? They do it every fucking game for 162 games. So what's the argument about?
And what is it though? Is
you get an early out? You know how great it would be if they came to me here one day and go, you know what? Get out of here at noon. You think I'd put up a fight? You think I'd kick dirt?
They never reverse the calls, though. So what's the point?
No, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. A guy told me once the reason why you yell at an ump or a ref or something is so that he hesitates the next time that he make a call because he might get yelled at. I tell you, it would make me just want to call all kinds of shit on you.
Yeah, piss them off
all
more.
Kinds of shit.
Right. Like there's any manager that's walking into the clubhouse being ejected from the game going, "I showed him." Huh?
Yeah.
I showed that guy.
How about this? The ump goes, "You know what? You're right."
Yeah. Everybody, let's change it back.
I'm really sorry.
Now, you know what happens? Then the other guy comes out of the dugout and goes, "What's going on? Are you fucking nuts?"
The ump standing there going, "I just want everybody to be happy."
888-STERN-101, which is 888-783-7610. Those numbers really don't mean anything.
Yeah.
That's but you're not supposed to text and drive. So if you start dialing, Stern 101, you could be dead within a matter of minutes.
You see that commercial with that guy? It's like, "This is the last text I got before I crash." And it's like, ITH. That's it. That's the only, and I'm like, what a shitty text to fucking send out before you hit a pole.
I love the urban legend where the girl texted, "I've got to stop texting. I may get in a
Yeah.
I totally get tremendous pleasure from stupid texting things. People that get kicked, they get hit by car. I don't care.
Hey, I better stop texting. I could be hit by a guy.
Oh, light's green. I'm going to cross. Wait, light just turned red.
They're all over
Hey,
Manhattan.
I think there's a guy about to rock.
Some Arab guy's next to me on a plane. He's ticking.
Hey, some guy's about to shoot us. Hey, Jeffrey Ross, hosted the Roseanne. I don't know if it's going to run tomorrow night.
He didn't host it. That woman Jane Lynch hosted it. He was just.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, he was just the closing roaster as usual.
Well, he did two. I'm going to try and get him on if I can. He did an Aurora joke. He said to Seth Green that
it was such a great.
Seth came in after his weekend of shooting people in Aurora, something horrible.
Well, because he looks like that guy a little bit, and then he followed it up with, he's like, I'm not comparing Seth Green to James Holmes. At least James Holmes did something in the theater that people will remember.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Oh my God! And then he did another one, didn't he? He did another.
Well, first of all, Jay, he shows.
No,
up.
he did two death jokes. He did two death. What was the other death joke? He did two of them in a row, and there was huge articles. You know what's funny? I know Jeffrey Ross is very funny, and I've known him forever from the Friars Club. And
he's a real
else.
good dude.
He's a very nice guy, and now he gets this notoriety. But every comic, as you know, wants to get a television show. They want to act or be on a sitcom or whatever.
He's got one.
This doesn't advance his chances.
Well, he's got one
all.
coming up on Comedy Central where he shows up to people's homes like celebrities and walks in and starts roasting them.
Well, that's good.
Oh, you don't think he could be on HBO?
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah, maybe, but it's like. I mean, look, they fired Gilbert Godfrey as the Aflac Duck.
That's Aflac.
Because of a joke about Japanese people that I don't even think they understood.
Well, but the problem with that was that
very uptight business.
80% of their business was from Japan. So they had to make some sort of stand.
You mean in Japan, 80% of the people with insurance have Aflac?
They love ducks. They love ducks out there. But I was going to say that one of the funniest things about Jeffrey Ross was something he didn't say is how he came dressed to the roast. I don't know if you saw this.
He dressed as Joe Paterno.
He dressed as a Penn State coach.
He did a Sandusky joke, and he dressed as Joe Paterno, and then he did the Aurora, Colorado.
But there's a great picture of him on the red carpet with a wig on and a Penn State coaching hat, all dressed up as a Penn State coach, with two shirtless boys in towels with football helmets.
Boys.
Well, he also made this crazy statement. Jeffrey Ross said, it's okay to make inappropriate jokes. It may not be okay to broadcast them. But those jokes are not going to be on the show Saturday night, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, it's their call. He's saying, look, as a comic, he has the right to do whatever jokes he wants to do, and he's right. And it's their right to
Where do
decide.
you comics get off with that shit? You don't.
Why?
Well, you just don't.
Sure you do.
You have some sort of like constitutional fucking.
Where do you get the right
thing.
to say whatever you want to say on here?
If I'm told not to, I stop. That's the difference.
Okay. Well, we're not told. If
I don't have the right to do anything. If they came into me and they go, look, don't ever say whatever. Don't ever say people don't like Shuley anymore.
Right.
I go like this. Okay. Right.
Well, we've asked you that 17 times. You never stop.
No, not you. Not you.
No,
somebody important came in and said that.
But
if
no.
somebody important came in and said, I don't want you ever.
But it's the same thing in stand-up. If a club owner says, listen, don't go up there and say cunt or fuck, then you don't do it. You know?
Right. That's what I'm saying. You comics are.
But if you don't tell us what not to
nobody
say.
has the right. Nobody has the right to tell us what to do.
There was a great episode of Louie where he went and played Atlantic City, and he was up there goofing on the casino and Trump, and the guy pulls him aside after the show, and he's like, look, dude, if you don't stop doing that, we're not going to be able to have you work this weekend here. And he's like, he said basically he's not going to stop doing it. That's the type of comic that he is. He's got to be able to talk about whatever he wants. And
that's why it took him so long to make it.
Well, the guy even says to him, he goes, why can't you just play ball, man? He's like, I don't get it. Why can't you just...
Why? While he was eating popcorn sandwiches or whatever the hell he was eating, I was making tons of money and doing what I was told. That's all. You know, while people were listen, I've never not had a bunch of money in the bank. I've never not had a good job. I did what I was told, and I had plenty of other. They used to say this to me. Look, do you have to say anything about whatever? There's plenty of other stuff to make jokes about. And I would go, you're absolutely correct, and I'd stop it. Just stop it right there, just like that. I'm not. You don't have to make fun of Shuli. There are plenty of other Jews to make fun of. That's what they said to me one day in a big meeting. Let's go to Barry of New Jersey. Yes, Barry, it's Jay Thomas. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Good morning. I was just going to talk to you a little bit about the
Did you let go of your nose, sir?
Let go of my Shuli, I love you, man. I think you're great. I'm a Jew, too.
You know who this
I love you too, man. I think you're awesome.
This is Robert F. Kennedy's ex-wife's brother. They all like to strangle each other. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Barry. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. How about that?
That's a very...
Much
no,
better.
You know what?
Much better.
You've got some sort of postnasal deviated septum or whatever, and it's horrifying for all of us to listen to, but we're not stuck with it for the rest of our lives. So for the next couple of minutes, we can take it. So go ahead, Barry. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was just about the female referee. The NFL strike with the referees are going on. So what they plan on doing with the female line judge, she was actually a line judge last night during the game. They plan on taking her whistle and her hat and actually placing it in Canton, Ohio, in the NFL Hall of Fame as the first woman referee in the history of the NFL, which has been 97 years. So they're actually going to display it for all of us. Yes, they are. Honest to God. I watched the game last night.
She's a scab, okay?
Well, I understand that, but they're still going to do it.
They're all scabs. Nobody
Women
cares.
in general, or?
No,
right.
when the players struck years ago, and there were replacements. I mean, people yelled at them, hated their guts, and I think maybe they kept two guys out of the however many hundreds they did use to replace the real NFL football players.
Didn't you play when there was a strike?
That was a long time ago.
Are you talking to me, Shuli?
That was a long
USFL? Something like that?
That was a long time ago. You know who else was a replacement player? Sean Payton, the suspended coach.
So you both got to hear the word scab yelled at you when you went to play.
Yes, we did. But I was a scab in a really shitty league, so
you didn't have the ability to.
So she's a scab. She is filling in for an NFL referee, and by the way, if they bust the union or whatever, you will see how bad referees are that don't know the NFL game. It'll be, I don't know.
It'll be like soccer referees.
Almost like that.
Yeah.
But I just do not think that they should be putting her hat and her whistle and a tampon in Canton, Ohio. I just think that's...
Here's more proof it was a woman. Her thong she was wearing during the game. Why don't you get a better fucking Hall of Fame instead
As I was going to say to Gianna, she's just so unfeminine looking. I mean, she just looks like, like a boy in a
Those
football
girls scare me.
uniform.
You just look at her,
what to do with them.
and the first thing you think of is she loves vagina. She loves it like I do.
Yeah.
Me and her.
Let's go to Joe. Joe of Boston. Hello, Joe. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Shuli and Gianna back in New York. Big Al's running things. Garrett Andritz is resting this weekend. He's in Maine. He's in Maine.
Oh, that's why he sent out that picture of all those oysters. He loves fucking oysters, man.
He loves
got a
anything.
problem.
I took him to a Russian restaurant, and I was eating the driest chicken I've ever eaten. And I said, I don't want this. He ate it down to the bone, was sucking on the bones.
He's like a German Shepherd in your mouth.
He'll eat anything, and he'll eat whatever you've ordered. Were you with us that night, Gianna?
Yeah, at the Russian place.
Yeah. Didn't he? He ate everything.
He ate everything.
If you don't like it, he's like Mikey. He eats. He does.
At least he's open-minded enough to try it.
You know, it's funny. He picks on Ira every time Ira brings the free food up from the barbecue. Like, he'll laugh at him, but then after 5 minutes later, he eats all the ribs.
Garrett's the one who eats all the food because nobody else.
20, 25 years from now, Garrett will be visiting radio shows going, Wow.
Anyone want ribs?
Yeah, what are you doing this weekend? Yeah.
Big boner from all his oysters.
Wow. Yes, Joe Boston. Are you watching the Olympics, Joe? Do you have a favorite, somebody you're excited by in the Olympics?
No. I'm watching it. I'm not.
Great American. Great American.
So, David,
Did you watch those girls there? The gymnasts. They had like no emotion. They're freaking robots or something.
Yeah, they're like.
Well, there's a book. There's a book coming out by this. She's a woman now, 40 years old, who won all kind of gold medals many years ago when she was 14 or 15, saying that guy, the Russian guy, and his wife yelled at him and said all kind of shit to him and didn't sexually touch them or anything, but were just meaner and shit. Those little girls, those little girls are deformed.
Yeah.
They look like little deformed hobbits, and they don't have their periods and shit. I mean, if you see like the pictures from the 50s. Or even the 60s, it just looks like normal people doing, athletic stuff, right? Now everybody's weird looking. I mean, yeah, so I don't get what that's all about. Can't you just be a regular person and be in the fucking Olympics without all the bullshit?
Do somersault talk again, or I throw a fire extinguisher at vagina.
The guys that ran the whatever it was, the 100 meters against the guy with the guy with the fake legs.
Yeah.
They were all saying what an inspiration he was. He came in dead last. What an inspiration he was. You let the guy with the fake legs beat the guy from fucking Jamaica, and you'll see what an inspiration he becomes.
Yeah, you'll see how many viewers you get at the Olympics.
A woman that, here's the weird thing. We're supposed to be so religious and no abortion, and everybody lines up at Chick-fil-A because they're against gay marriage and the whole thing. And this woman, what's her name? Not J-Lo, I want to keep, Lolo Jones.
The sexy virgin.
Yes, but she went out of her way to say she was a Christian and God was her coach and the whole thing. And 4 years ago, she hit the top of one of the hurdles and was unable to finish the race or whatever the deal is. Came back, was the world champion, and came in fourth. Didn't win a medal. Came in fourth, and she didn't run fast enough. Okay, she went on the Today Show. Al, do you have this jerk off on the Today Show, please?
Yeah.
She blamed her loss on publicity and people they said that she should be with Tim
Blame it on
Tebow.
God if you got balls. What, God only does good things for you?
That's exactly right. God doesn't like her.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, God doesn't like her.
That's what she can't face.
And
a penis
amazing
apparently is what you can't face either.
Is that the woman Savannah Migraine that's interviewing her?
It looks like
the
her,
woman that Savannah Migraine. The woman gets the biggest show in America and has trouble working because she has migraines. Meanwhile, a poor Ann Curry who's now living over the Peking Duck House in Chinatown. Her career is fucking over. She never got a fucking migraine. Let's hear Lolo Jones blame her loss. Here we go.
It was a disappointing finish for Lolo Jones in the women's 100-meter hurdle. She finished in fourth place 4 years after she clipped the 9th hurdle during the finals in Beijing. Lolo, good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
I know you are disappointed, but you came so close. So I think it was 1/100th of a second.
Yeah, well, that's a big difference in track. Well, I mean, it seems like a small difference. You can't really clock it, but for track, I think that's a big difference.
How are you feeling this morning?
I mean, I'm okay. I think it's disappointing in one extreme, as in I didn't get the medal, but in another extreme, exactly a year ago, I was having spinal cord surgery. So, I mean, if I look at that, I'm like, okay, look at all the things you've been through. You had spinal cord surgery, 2 hamstring injuries, and you fought through all of that, So I keep trying to focus on that and not the, negativity I received, from the other one.
No, you made it here. But I know last night you tweeted about dealing with a broken heart. Is that how it feels?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was crushed afterwards. I mean, I know I had the best race of my season, not the best race of my life, but I mean, I had the best race of my year. So, I mean, I just try to look at that. But, you know, it doesn't take away from the pain that, you know, I was so close to, you know, once again having a medal and, you know, not
Your
getting
best
it.
is
This
fourth
was the
place.
fastest women's hurdles race in Olympic history. Does that make you feel better at all, just knowing that, I mean, you were facing the toughest competition
Not at
there
all.
was?
No, I think it's awesome that, you know, we all knew this because all the girls were running amazing this year, and we could just feel that there was going to be something happen, like something special was going to happen. We knew it. So, but it doesn't make you feel better. Like, oh, my time would have got me a medal in, you know, the other Olympics. No.
You mentioned you've been dealing with a lot of tough stuff lately. The New York
Here
Times
it
did a
comes.
very tough piece criticizing you for being more image than accomplishment.
Yeah.
How hard was that to deal with?
I think it was crazy just because it was 2 days before I competed, and then the fact that it was from a U.S. media. Like, I mean, they should be supporting our U.S. Olympic athletes.
Yeah. Wait a
Instead,
minute,
they just
wait.
ripped me to shreds, and I just thought that was crazy because I worked 6 days a week, every day for 4 years for a 12-second race, and the fact that they just tore me apart, it was just heartbreaking. I'm not like, you know, didn't even do the research, called me the Anna Kournikova of track. I have the American record holder. I'm the American record holder indoors. I have 2 world indoor titles, and just because I don't boast about these things, I don't think I should be
you
shut up.
You just did,
so,
stupid.
I mean, I laid it out there. I fought hard for my country.
You jump
I think
over
it's just
wood.
a shame that I have to deal with so
jump
much
over
backlash when I'm
wood,
already
dummy.
so brokenhearted as it is.
You know, you
Hey,
have
fourth.
been
How you
such a
doing,
public
fourth?
figure. You
Hey,
have
fourth.
bared your soul.
Yeah.
6 days a
And I
week
wonder
for
how
4
you
years for
look at it
fourth
now.
place.
I mean,
You
you
fucking
can't
idiot.
help but put your heart out there. That's just who you are. But
I wish the
are you
announcer,
sorry that
this
you
woman,
did?
would say,
I mean,
come on.
You should change your name from Lolo Jones to No Medals.
You know what, Al? I've never done this before. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. I've never told anyone to get rid of an audio or video.
I can't believe
What?
an American media would attack me.
You know, I tried my best to have hit television shows, but I couldn't because of the bad publicity and the bad reviews.
I don't know how you guys put up with any women.
Do they write I wanted to be such a success, but the shows I did were bad.
I didn't see the Post have any articles about me hitting my clit in the 8th hurdle.
Yeah.
It slows you down. I don't care what anybody says.
I
mean
know what
this.
she says. She's all blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, she's
No,
all
but
fucking...
she was very proud of the fact that she's a virgin, and I think that
Well, she's
that,
a virgin. Who's going to sit through those conversations? I mean, really.
she gets. By the way, she gets no endorsements at all. They were lined. I mean, she was going to be a multimillionaire. I mean, she can do like loser jeans or whatever.
I mean, why, if I'm in a company, unless my company is called Hurdles R Us, I don't know why the fuck I would hire her to.
Well, they have her do. Well, what about when Tiger Woods was the spokesman for Buick?
She should be
And
the
they
spokesperson for every fourth thing on the list. Like, you know, like not the.
They gave him
Pepsi.
$2 or $3 million bucks.
She should, RC Cola.
Yeah, she's like, hey, Lolo Jones for Sunkiss.
Yeah. I mean, I was when Tiger Woods was doing the Buick ads, I read that they gave him $2 million bucks. I said, "What, to sit in a Buick?"
Yeah, really.
To even, you know, how embarrassing was it? You know, so. But anyway, the Olympics, I guess, is doing great and whatever. And for some reason, London is broke because of it. No one's going to the stadium, or they don't have the money. Have you read this? They don't have any money, and it's costing them too much money and all kind of other shit. And then Mitt Romney shit on the guy in London and said they weren't doing a good job. And the mayor of London, who's a funny guy, he paraglides and he does zip lining and I don't know, he's like a nut, right? He said, yeah, well, I have a city of like 18 million. Mr. Romney ran the Olympics in the middle of nowhere. I think it was Salt Lake City.
Not only did he run the Olympics, but let me tell you what they did in Salt Lake City, because I was living in Vegas at the time, and this is confirmed. This is a fact. I saw this on
the Winter
news.
Olympics, not the Summer Olympics.
No, it was the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. They took homeless people from Salt Lake City. They threw them on a bus, and they drove them to Las Vegas.
No, they didn't.
Jay, I'm not. There were news reports about it. They shipped their homeless to Vegas so that the people that came out for the Winter Olympics wouldn't see they were an eyesore. All of a sudden, because I was working at the liquor stores at the time in downtown, and we had a lot of, like, homeless and drunks hanging out there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just see these new crop, you know, and I'm just like...
It's new crop.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never seen this dude before, you know. Where's this guy from? And one of the guys told me one day, he's like, oh, we're from Utah. Yeah, the mayor shipped us out. The governor shipped us out. And I'm like, these guys are fucking loaded. They're out of their mind. Like a week later, there's all these news stories on TV in Vegas about it. So, yeah.
Well, have you noticed that Ryan Seacrest did 2 interviews or 3 interviews the first couple of days, and they never used him again? Did you know that?
Thank God.
Who, Ryan Seacrest?
Yeah. He was supposed to be a big deal over there, and I think Matt Lauer, maybe as he's getting older, is a little harder to get along with or something. Because he did a couple of things with Matt Lauer and looked like Lauer didn't like him. See you later. You better not fuck with Matt Lauer.
And Lauer seems like a down-to-earth kind of dude who's like...
it was nice to me. I met him a couple of times. Very nice to me.
He seems like a guy who joke around.
When he tried to hug Ann Curry, and she said, you got me fired, and gave him that, gave him the Chinese cold shoulder. That shoulder like that. And then Ryan Seacrest did a thing where he got a shot put, and he tried to put the shot, and it made him look, I don't know what his sexual orientation is, but it made him look... First of all, I don't think he's gay, but he's one of these guys that ought to be.
Yeah.
You know?
And
he's useless. He's a useless male. If this was like years and years ago, the cavemen would have stoned him to death,
He's too
if
soft.
you were useless.
Yeah.
He's soft.
He's too soft to be a himbo, to be like, a male whore type of thing.
So a himbo?
Dude bimbo.
A himbo is?
Yeah, it's like a guy himbo.
I never heard of a himbo. I don't know what that is.
He seems soft, and if you've never trained to throw a shot put, you should never do it because you're gonna look feminine every time. And in his case, when he screamed out, that doesn't help his case at all.
By the way, you get $1,000 tax credit for your child. Did you know this, Julie, when you do your taxes?
Fuck yeah, I do.
Mitt Romney.
That's the reason I'm thinking of another one.
Got an $80,000 tax credit for his Olympic horse, Rafalka.
Wow.
I wish I was working for Barack Obama. I would just tell him, no matter what he says, he goes, and so what do you think of that, Mr. President? What do you think of the... And you go, really? How's Rafalka doing with its $80,000? I would just do shit like that.
Is if he would drop shit like that and then just walk away from the mic, like he'd go, I'd like to respond to what Governor Romney had to say with one word. Rafalka, bitch. Boom. Walks off, throws the mic down. Boom.
Like a night at the Apollo.
Hands up in the air.
I feel that the president has not done everything he should do. I would stop the tax credit for this and that and the other. What do you say to that, Mr. President?
How's your gold medal horse, biatch? Boom. Done.
How many first ladies are you going to have? Back to you, Governor. I mean, just shit on the fucking guy.
How's your magic underwear fitting tonight, Governor?
Governor Romney, you seem a little upset in this debate tonight. Is it because that magic underwear is riding up on you?
Mr. President, what do you have to say about that? Bring 'em young, and boy, did he. Booyah! I'm out! I'm out of here!
Now, you know what? Do you realize that one of his spokesmen, they're running... Al, do you have the ad where the guy claims that Romney killed his wife?
I gotta look.
You have that one?
I got to look for it. Hold on.
It's one thing to say the guy's against stem cell research, but to be like, this dude killed my wife.
They find this Democratic loser guy. And the guy worked for some company, and Romney's company bought the company, and he got fired. So he never got another job, and he lost his insurance. About 5 years later, his wife gets cancer and dies. He blames it on Mitt Romney because Mitt Romney bought his company and the whole thing. And now they're finding out all kinds of stuff about the guy, and he's always hated Romney, and he's done other stuff against him and everything else. Did you find it, Al?
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
Okay, let's just listen to this. This is a real commercial.
I don't think Mitt Romney understands what he's done to people's lives by closing the plant. I don't think he realizes that people's lives completely changed. When Mitt Romney and Bain closed the plant, I lost my health care.
Yeah.
And my family lost their health care. And a short time after that, my wife became ill. I don't know how long she was sick. And I think maybe she didn't say anything because she knew that we couldn't afford the insurance.
Because of Mitt Romney.
And then one day she became ill, and I took her up to the Jackson County Hospital.
Because of Mitt Romney.
And admitted her for pneumonia, and that's when they found the cancer. And by then it was stage 4.
Oh boy!
There was nothing they could do for her. And she passed away in 22 days.
Way to go, Mitt.
I do not think Mitt Romney realizes what he's done to anyone.
Mitt Romney causes tumors.
Furthermore, I do not think Mitt Romney is concerned.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Oh.
If I was that guy, I'd be like, in fact, at one point we named the tumor Mitt. The doctors told us that's medically what it was called.
Mitt's growing.
Mitt's growing.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Johnson, yes, your wife has a tumor that's shaped like Mitt Romney. Yeah.
The doctor told us.
I don't know.
The doctor
don't
told
know
us
how to break it to you, sir, but
doctors mentioned if it was an Obama tumor, we could eradicate it. But
yeah, Mitt Romney.
With Mitt.
So now here's what happened. So they start saying to Romney, and he has a spokesperson, a woman. Do you have the spokesperson's response? She got in real trouble. Ann Coulter, Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, and every right-wing announcer demanded that he fire her. Do you know about this?
No. What the hell could have been her answer?
Her answer, every Republican demanded that she be fired after she answered this ad that, of course, it isn't a Barack Obama ad, but he of course knows what it is and everything else. It's a woman spokesman, Al, and it's her response.
It's Ann Coulter's response or someone else?
No. It's a woman. No, Ann Coulter is screaming and yelling about it. It's the woman, the Romney spokeswoman's response that everybody's mad at.
I'm looking for it.
The woman says, well, if the guy and his wife had lived in Massachusetts, they would have had insurance.
Oh.
Because Governor Romney, when he was governor of Massachusetts, he passed universal health care for the state of Massachusetts.
Well, I mean, listen.
Well, wait a minute. They're against universal health care. The Republicans are against universal health care, whatever that is. And that was her statement. Well, man, look, Mitt Romney, they went completely berserk, and he's refused to fire her. And if you turn on Fox this morning or any of the, well, that's the only right-wing channel we have.
Yeah.
If you turn on any of them, they're screaming and yelling to Cann and everything else. And that was the woman, the woman, what are you going to say to that? The guy said that, Mitt Romney killed his wife. How do you.
Well, I mean, in all fairness,
that's another one Barack Obama ought to do.
Yeah.
So, Mr.
Kill any
Mr.
wives
President,
lately, Mitt?
You don't want to give the oil companies their due, and they've done everything for America for over 150 years. What do you say to that, Mr. President? Why don't you go kill somebody's wife again, huh?
All my friends
Governor Romney, why don't you go kill somebody? Hey, look, why don't you drag their body over the border of Massachusetts before you kill them? All right? Back to you, Governor. Oh, man, it'd be so simple. So,
and,
hey, by the way, Mr. Romney, isn't your wife ill? You might have caused it, sir.
Right. Your walking tumor spreading to everyone you touch.
I got her response.
Yeah, here, listen to this one. Here we go.
I'm pretty sure this is it.
Yeah.
Andrea Saul now, press secretary to Governor Romney's campaign, is with me now live out of Boston. Andrea, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I want to play a little bit of this clip here, okay? Then I want to get the reaction from the Romney team. Just about 15 seconds now.
By then it was stage 4. There was nothing they could do for her. And she passed away in
Tumorgate. That's what they're calling this, Tumorgate.
I do not think Mitt Romney realizes what he's done to anyone. And furthermore, I do not think Mitt Romney is concerned.
Andrea, what are the facts that you have found about this man's story?
Well, first off, obviously I'm sorry for this man's loss. But this ad just shows the depths to which the Obama campaign and their allies will go to try to smear Mitt Romney. President Obama went to Washington saying he would change the culture there, and the dirty politics have just gotten worse. He has no rationale for re-election. He has no positive record to run on. And so instead, he's launching personal character attacks at Governor Romney and, frankly, blaming him for things in just a disgusting way.
Is it true that Governor Romney left Maine in 1999? This gentleman lost his job at a steel plant in 2001, I believe, and his wife died 5 years after that, which would be 2006. Are those the facts as you understand them?
Correct. Governor Romney left Bain Capital in 1999 to head up the Salt Lake City Olympic Games, which were called, the most successful games ever on U.S. soil by some. And he was busy doing that. Obviously it's unfortunate when anyone loses their job. This particular case was a plant that was closed years after Governor Romney left the company. And to that point, if people had been in Massachusetts under Governor Romney's health care plan, they would have had health care. There are a lot of people losing their jobs and losing their health care in President Obama's economy. And, that's why Governor Romney's running, to get people back to work.
Yeah, will Governor Romney address this specifically?
Now, how does Romney defend her? How does he?
I don't know. I have no idea, but they're calling for her to be fired because she said that if the guy had lived in Massachusetts and the wife, they would have been covered under the universal health care, which he is somehow going to have to say in the debates that is bad. And by the way, they have used the Massachusetts health care as a blueprint for what Obamacare is. Yeah, it's bad. It's crazy.
Not only is that bad, the only thing
I thought Ann Coulter's Adam's apple was going to come out.
The only thing she could have said to make that worse is, well, we all know with dealing with cancer, it's about three things. Location, location, location.
Like my mother would say, oh, my God, why would you work at a plant?
Mama's a wise woman.
Mom, the man got cancer from working at a metal, some sort of a metal place. They made some sort of, steel. Oh my God, what a horrible job!
And my dad would be the type he just refuses to believe the obvious sometimes. So she'd be like, Dad, this guy lost his job, and then a year or two later, his wife got cancer and she died because of him losing his job. My dad would just look at you and go, I've never heard of anything like that before. I don't understand. I don't understand what that's about.
You know what? I could blame all kinds of shit on people from 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
Are you
really?
kidding? I would be here all night saying, that goddamn Clear Channel. If they hadn't let me go,
I'd
have that big mansion if they didn't let me go.
Yeah.
I'd still have that ridiculously inflated salary. All right, we'll be right back. We have Adam Ant coming on in a few minutes, and only for one reason.
The Adam Ant?
His name is Adam Ant. That's the only reason. I never, most of the music I played, because I'm from Louisiana, New Orleans, whatever, I played top 40, and then I got into dance music, and I did like the morning zoo kind of a... By the way, you know who Scott Shannon is, of course, don't you? People know who that is?
The radio guy.
Yeah, in New York... He's been at WPLJ forever, but he was at Z100, and he was down in Tampa for years. But I knew Scott when I first started, and he was the night guy in Nashville at a powerful station. I'm like an idiot, went to a very low-powered station and thought I could do well, and I ended up getting beaten the ratings. I come to work one day. I didn't even listen to the station I worked at, and I'm walking down this big, long hall, and I see a guy in a cowboy hat behind the board. During the day, the station had changed to country, and I didn't even listen to the station. And they couldn't get in touch with me or whatever. Meanwhile, my girlfriend's back home, pregnant with JT, and the afternoon drive guy's girlfriend had shot him in the hallway of our apartment building the night before. So I was dealing with the fact that his girlfriend was pregnant. So she had shot him or shot at him, and I was afraid that JT's mom-to-be was going to shoot me because I was getting ready to leave her also and, get rid of the kid and the whole thing. We were wonderful people back then. So I get to work, and the station's changed to country. There was a guy that worked in the afternoon named Dr. Al Adams, and he had a character called Willard the Duck. And he would be like a two-man show. It would be Dr. Al and this duck. Mm-hmm. So Al would play records or whatever, and then the duck would do a bit, whatever. So I walk down the hall, and I see that the program director is there. I didn't get to work till 9 o'clock at night or something. I go, Al, what's going on? He goes, oh, come in. He goes, we've been trying to call you all day. I go, what? He goes, well, we're no longer a top 40 station or whatever, and he's standing behind the desk. And he's nervous. He's like, I don't know, like I said, a bad temper or whatever the hell it was. And he's telling me he's firing me and that they've gone country. So I was more upset than anything else. And the guy got so nervous, he had the duck start talking to me, right? He started talking in a duck voice. Yeah. It was the craziest thing ever. So I leave the building, and Scott Shannon worked across the street. And so I call him up on the hotline. I go, man, I just lost my job. And he says, yeah, I heard, and all this stuff. So I go up and I sit with him, and we kind of become friends, right? So years pass, and he ends up in Tampa, and Z100 comes, and they do really well, and Howard replaces me and all that. And I move out to Los Angeles, and I'm winning in the ratings. And before Howard came or anybody else came, we would always hear, and the guy said, hey, man, Scott Shannon is coming to run a radio station out here. So that next morning, I became the morning zoo the next morning. And I just stole all of their bits and sound effects and everything else. And it crushed Scott Shannon. I remember that, calling me up almost in tears. I stole his morning zoo act. I'll never forget it. I go, are you nuts? I'm playing some fucking sound effect and saying morning zoo. So I said, think of something else, you fucking idiot. I said, I'm not going to let you come here and beat my fucking ass. And, he couldn't recover. He tried pirate radio or something. It didn't work.
I remember that. I remember in LA.
And his face scared Hispanic people. Did you know that?
Well, I always felt that. I just never got confirmation.
But I never played Adam Ant and all that stuff. So do we have some Adam Ant? What would be the best Adam Ant?
Goody Two Shoes, I think, was his biggest hit.
Oh, I will know Goody Two Shoes. Oh, yeah, I know this.
It's catchy. You know this.
Oh, I know this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Kind of like a New Orleans song, isn't it? It's
almost brings back a lot of memories. First time I banged a guy. Whoops, is this on? Oh, my God.
No, you know what? It does. It reminds me. It's like a Mardi Gras song.
And swing dancing had a revival.
Pump that shit, man. It's my jam, yo.
By the way, he's a trumpet player. He doesn't sing.
So that's Adam Ant singing?
Yeah.
Yep. It says here, Jay, hope you enjoy Adam Ant. Don't ask him
hold on. Why would anyone send you anything saying not to ask somebody something? Don't they know?
It says, Jay, do not mention his mental problems.
Oh, so
I didn't know anything about him, so just...
Hey, next time, just write us an email saying, don't make him an interesting guest. How about that?
Don't mention his mental problems. All right, I won't. What did he have?
There's no way you can...
Al, what are his mental problems?
No way.
Say that.
There is no way you can get through an interview.
I think he got in fights or something.
There's no way, Jake, you
can do
this.
That's not a mental problem. Wait a minute.
It is when you're trying to get out of jail time.
In his autobiography of 6 years ago, Stand and Deliver, he laid bare his childhood and struggles with mental illness. Okay. That's cool. So do you recover from mental illness?
Well, obviously,
one fight and you put you in a mental.
Listen,
I don't have page 8.
Yes, you do.
I do.
If they're asking you not to bring it up,
you really believe, Gianna, that I would go 8 pages into a fucking bio? I don't think so. Hold on a minute. Play the record. That's right. I'll do that. Cover up Uncle Jay trying to find page 8.
If they're asking you not to mention his mental condition, odds are he's not over it.
So, Adam, how are you feeling physically?
Oh, I give it 2 minutes. I give you 2 minutes
how are you feeling?
before it comes out.
I'm not going to.
I'm starting a timer.
You absolutely.
I really am.
Well, how much time do you think it'll take?
No, don't do that. Then you force me to do it. I don't know the guy.
How about me and Shuli write it down, and then after the interview?
All right. The organic flow of the interview.
I'm changing my guess.
Let's go to Michael of Tennessee. It's the Jay Thomas Show at 888-STERN-101, which is 783-7610. Yes, Michael, go ahead.
What's up, Jay? Hey, you said...
All right, sir, we have to cut you off from the bar. You've clearly had...
Julie, you said you banged a guy from this song?
Oh, this is Speech Impediment
Man.
Man.
Stay away from me, you homo.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yes.
Hey,
yes, go ahead.
Jay, you said you were a boxer before...
Not a good one. No, not a good boxer.
What was your record?
I'll tell you what the record I have is. I was beaten so badly in an amateur fight in Louisiana and bled so much that I could never fight in Louisiana again.
He was 0-2. The second fight, he pulled a hammy walking to the ring.
I bled. It was so much blood, and they couldn't stop the blood, and that every time we wore a helmet and everything. If the helmet just got jostled a little bit, the blood would come. So I couldn't. I tell you what, I wasn't raised in a rough neighborhood or anything, and I think to be a real boxer, I think like Mike Tyson or all these. I think you have to have like childhood troubles.
That's
I think you have to be
filth.
Beaten by your parents or abused or something like that. I think.
Well, what made you think you could be a boxer?
I like the athletics of it. But you know what happened? There was a guy that was a great boxer, and I was a sparring partner, but he never really did anything to me, and it built my confidence. So we sparred together, but he never, ever went...
He never went full speed on you.
No, never, ever. And so, I would get hit and stuff, but not...
And had he gone full speed, you'd be sounding like Speech Impediment Man right now.
No, he killed me. So then I started really working out, and I'll tell you the guy's name. He's from New Orleans. His name is Phil Mossy, and he was went to my high school and played football, and they owned the fucking Oldsmobile dealership and shit, And I get in the fucking ring, and I've been working out. I'm in fabulous shape. I weighed about 147 pounds, and I wrestled and everything, and I get in there. And I throw 2 or 3 punches, and I remember putting my gloves together, and his punch went through my gloves and hit me just flat in the fucking nose. So I put my gloves back together again, and he hits me in the stomach. So I bring my gloves down to protect my stomach, and he hits me in the fucking nose again.
It's as if he knew your every move.
Every move I was making, right? Blood is everywhere. So he's knocking the shit out of me. They drag me back to the thing. I told this the other day. And they take these sticks and they put, cotton on them. They dip it in like methylate or, mercurochrome or some fucking horrifying thing. And they jam it into my nose. And the guy's giving me instructions. And he's telling me to keep my elbows over my stomach and keep my hands up over my face. But in that position, I'm unable to move my arms away from my body.
Sure.
So I go back out. They shove all kind of shit in pack my nose with all kind of shit. I go out there, and now let me tell you what, scared to death. Okay? It seemed like the 1 minute rest time was about 9 seconds. And then the bell was so loud. Boom! Like that. And this guy, Phil Mossy, comes at me again. I've got my elbows down, protected my stomach, and I've got the gloves up. And so all he can hit is like my forehead. He begins to punch my forehead as hard as a human being's ever hit me, right in the forehead.
Why were you such a difficult fight for this guy? Why couldn't you just get your ass kicked in a quick and easy way and just help
I wouldn't
the
go
guy
down,
out?
First of all. I wouldn't go down. So he keeps hitting me in the forehead, and the 2 things that they put in my nose burst out of my nose like I don't know why. What's that thing that comes out of a woman before she has the baby? Surely there's a little like
when you're cooking a turkey, like that little thing that pops up.
blood everywhere. So then the doctor comes, and they stop the fight in the middle of the second round, and they cart me off. And so I went back to the gym, the next week, and I work out and everything else, and I tried to fight again, and I would, even if I was winning, I would bleed. I'd bleed like crazy. So I got better, except I bled all the time. And so finally, I fought like 5 or 6 times.
Jay was sponsored by Kotex. That's how much he fucking bled.
Well, one time I was wrestling, and a guy had me, and he must have put his arm over my nose or something like that, and my nose starts bleeding. But the blood got on his face and head.
Nice.
And so he thought he was bleeding.
Oh,
and
great.
while he was shocked about the blood on him, I pinned him.
Good job.
That was a great job.
I always have this nightmare that I'm in the UFC fighting, and that the second a guy's blood gets on me and sweat, I tap out. Like, he doesn't even put me in a move.
I don't know why those guys don't have more blood. I don't understand that. That looks like
some
those
guys
punches,
cut a lot easier than others, And
man, that my eyes didn't get cut, and my I didn't get I didn't get knocked out. But I wish, what? I should have gone down. You're exactly right. I should have just gone down. It hurt like a son of a bitch.
What do you got to prove,
When a guy is beating the piss out of you, and after a while, you wonder what's keeping a guy standing up. I think his punches kept me standing up. I would go to fall down. He hit me with an uppercut. I'd stand up.
I just fall down when guys hit me.
Has a guy ever struck you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you listened to her?
4 guys have hit you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what a psychologist would say?
At the same time?
No. We only get to hit me once, so you better
you only get to hit you one time.
Maybe it was for charity. Maybe it was a charity event.
A psychologist would say that you choose people like that. Do you know that?
Now I have learned the early warning signs.
What's one of them? Screaming and yelling and
here's your next
unreasonable.
It's the opposite. They smother you with love, like they want to get committed really fast. They make like they're all about you.
Here's your next book.
So it seems flattering.
Bob and Weave over 40. Coming at you.
Bob. How about this one?
Stick and move over 40.
Donkey punch over 40.
Remember, I left home at 16. I had no training.
Now, wait. So you don't need training to know that you're not with people. No.
Hit me 3 times. Shame on me.
You don't know the warning signs at that age.
So every guy who said he was madly in love with you.
No, not every.
Well, no, when you were younger. Every one of them who said that ended up beating the shit out of you.
No, it wasn't I never got the shit beat out of me.
Were you just one punch, just one shot to the head? That was it?
One guy hit me like 8 times in a row once in my back.
Was he jumping you into a gang?
No.
Now, what would make them do it? First of all, they're madly in love with you, but then they would be... They were drunk, and they'd be jealous.
They're jealous, yeah. For everything they love me for in the beginning, then they hate in the
Love
end.
is the only emotion that'll make people do something.
I know.
They wanted to beat you until your breast and your ass stopped being fine.
They think that, when other men are looking at you, that you're causing it.
You're causing it.
Yeah.
You're damn right,
Jay. You know how it is.
There's only one time, and I picked the wrong girl to fool with. This Italian girl from Queens that I dated for a long time. And one time, I fucked with her one fucking time. And she hit me in the head with a champagne bottle going over the Brooklyn Bridge. Ooh. And I'm in the middle of the bridge. It was my birthday. And I said something really rude to her. And she'd bought me this bottle of champagne. And we're going over the Brooklyn Bridge somewhere. And I was being an asshole. And she got in the back seat somehow. I don't know. Who knows what was going on? And there was no I wish I could say it was drugs or drunkenness or whatever. I was just being an asshole. From the back seat, she hits me in the back of the head with a champagne bottle, and I did all I could to stay on the bridge. And she wanted to beat me until we crashed and went off the side of the bridge and died in the river. It was insane. Insane.
See?
I never fucked with another woman again, or her, as long as I ever lived. Ever. I mean, and if I tried to hit her, she would have killed me. She would have absolutely killed me. I was so scared of her.
They don't come with
that. We dated another 2 years. I was scared to break up with her. Absolutely scared to break up.
Just moved away.
I couldn't. Let's go to Adam Ann. Is Adam here waiting for us?
Yeah, he's here.
Hey, Adam, it's Jay Thomas. How are you?
Morning, Jay. How are you?
I'm good, man. Congratulations. You're on tour again, and you're back in America for the Blueback Hussar tour. What does that mean, Blueback Hussar? What is that?
Well, that's basically an update of the sort of character that I came over with in 1981. What would he like 30 years later? Like the Blueback Hussar. So it's kind of like a grown-up version of that, hopefully.
And the new album has a really long title. Adam Ant is the Blue Black Hussar in marrying the gunner's daughter. Jesus Christ! You have to be stoned to really get what that means. What is
the idea is that if you don't like the record, you still remember the title of it or try to remember the title of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, by the way, you'll hear other voices here. Shuli is here, and Gianna.
Hello, Mr. Ant.
Mr. Ant. Mr. Ant.
No, wait, they're calling you Mr. Ant. That's ridiculous.
Out of respect.
No.
Adam's good.
All right, Adam.
Adam is good. So, Adam, how have you changed over the years? You know, you've done it all. You've seen everything. You've gone there. You've come back. You're alive. You've made it through. How is Adam Ant different today than like 20, 25 years ago?
Well, I think the biggest difference is I have a daughter, Lily, and that's really changed me. So now I know why I work so hard. That's number one.
Really?
And the second thing would be I've sort of learned to say no to certain things that I want to do. You know, so like if I don't want to do something, I don't have to do it. So they're the two main things, really. You know.
Mm-hmm. Not saying no has gotten you in trouble in the past. Sounds like, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, you feel. You know, I mean, before I had a hit record, it was like 3 years of playing everywhere I could, clubs and pubs and all the rest of it. And then you get a hit and you're very reluctant to turn down work because you don't think it's going to last for very long. And so I just had that mentality for like, I suppose about 10, 15 years. But eventually, you know, it's sort of, you realise, well, now you got to take it easy.
You know, I'm from New Orleans. In fact, I'm in Louisiana now, but I live in California. Right. When I hear Goody Two Shoes, to me, it has a little bit of the professor. You know who Professor Longhair was in the Mardi Gras type kind of specific music. Did your music have any influence with some of the stuff that you'd ever heard coming out of New Orleans by any chance?
Yeah. I mean, everybody. I mean, my dad was a bit of a jazz fan, you know, and I he used to have a lot of Louis Armstrong in the house, and, you know, also Miles Davis. And that kind of, in England, there was a guy called Acker Bilk who, you know, adapted that sound anyway. And so there was a lot of that on TV growing up. There was a lot of that kind of, feel to music on. So I must have picked it up subconsciously. And I like brass. I think brass played well is amazing. I just love it.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Adam Ant, by the way, is on tour and Grammy nominated, and the tour is taking. It's your first tour in 16 years.
Yeah.
And is there where can people go to find out? Go to Adam Ant, a website, adam-antnet.net. Is that it?
I've got a website for it.
Yeah, all right.
It's Adamant. I've got it now. Hang on.
That's all right. They'll find it. They go to Adam Ant. Adam Ant, 20 cities. So how are you feeling? You feeling good physically? Everything's good?
Yeah, I feel great, yeah. It's just nice to be, you know, playing again. I've got a really good band, the Mad and the Lovely Posse. A 5-piece band. They all...
Did you say the Lovely Pussy?
Yeah.
The Lovely Pussy. The name of the band is the Lovely Pussy?
Posse.
Posse?
Oh, Posse.
Yeah.
Posse. I got you.
P-O-S-S-E, yeah.
I got you. Because you said that and Gianna looked up.
No.
Are you still the sexiest man alive?
No, I think Johnny Depp took that.
Yeah.
That Johnny Depp takes everything.
Now, and how are you feeling mentally? Everything okay for you mentally?
Yeah, I feel, you know, I feel it's, you know, when really bad things happen, if you survive them, you can kind of look back a little bit in perspective, and I feel all the better for it really now, you know. So at least I know when to stop working and when to, you know, chill out, which I didn't ever do before.
But if somebody gives you shit, I mean, you used to you weren't against fighting or knocking them in the head with something or whatever. So if you calm down now, but that also was part of your cachet, part of your resume that, you know, you were a wild man, right?
Well, I think that just comes out of, you know, being involved in the sort of punk rock thing in London, you know, coming out of that. If someone throws a bottle at your head or spits at you, it's a bit degrading. And if they keep doing it,
go get them. You're damn right. Go get them. Beat the shit out of them.
Well, Yeah, but, you know, it was, let's say it was interesting in those days, but there you go, I'm alive.
All right. And how old is your little girl now?
She's 14. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Teenager, yeah. She's very cool. She likes jazz. She plays the saxophone.
Nice.
So she's not really...
Now, does she have any tattoos yet?
No, she's got no tattoos, but she's just had her ear pierced. It's sort of starting, the trend's coming. She's had her first ear pierced thing done. So
now, will that bother you? A lot of people who've lived the life and, even, don't go into show business, don't be a musician, don't get tattoos. Do you have any rules like that for your daughter after the life Adam Ant has lived?
Well, I don't know, she's quite a sort of serious-minded, girl. She's very independent thinking, and she just likes a completely different type. She likes Rob Zombie and stuff like that, which isn't too bad, but it's quite heavy. And she's fortunate. She likes her schoolwork, so I'm pretty lucky in that. But she does ask me stuff before she does it, so I just give her my opinion. I wouldn't let her have a tattoo till she was like 18 anyway. So, but before that, piercings and earrings and stuff is all right.
Well, we're lucky to have you back, and you sound great, and everything's cool. And so, have we started the tour yet? Or are you just kicking it off? What cities can we see you like in the next? I guess you're in L.A. at the Mayan Theater coming up in a couple of days, right? 3 days. Then you go to Vegas, San Diego, Austin, Texas. It's a huge 20-city tour. Adam Ant coming up. We'll be back in the United States for first time in 16 years. And the new album, Adam Ant, is the blue-black hussar in marrying the gunner's daughter. And so great, man. Thanks for being here, and good luck on the tour.
Thanks very much for having me, and I'll see you after the 13th of September, and it all goes off.
Oh, all right.
All right, the great Adam Ant. Thank you, Adam, very much. Thank you. There you go. Sound like a nice guy, didn't he?
Good
Very nice fellow.
Forget that. We got.
No, I asked him how he was mentally. I said that.
Jay,
you did kindly.
Let's see. Did everybody?
I said,
write
"How
down?
are you physically?" I said, "How are you physically?"
Al wrote down a time. Al, what did you write down?
Oh, stop! I
had 4 minutes.
I wrote 4 minutes as well.
And at 3:30, he asked him how he was feeling. At 4:02, he asked, "How are you mentally?"
There you go.
And at 4:30, he asked him if he's calmed down. Is he still a wild man?
We know R.J. Thomas.
Here's the thing. These days you have bodyguards and shit, and people stand around people and everything else. And Adam Ant, from what little I do know about him, somebody fucked with him, and the punk, they'd fight. They'd jump in the crowd. They would fucking get in fights and shit. And that's the way it ought to be. If you're going to be that kind of entertainer, you don't need a bodyguard and guards. I never understood all that security and shit around. Like when JT was working with Marilyn Manson, he's doing all this wild shit, and Marilyn Manson is the biggest chicken shit that ever walked in the face of the earth.
Him?
They would grab at him, or he was frightened of everyone. Like JT's brother was a football player in college, and he came to visit, and he got completely loaded and got on stage and was running around, and Marilyn ran backstage. And literally hid behind something, and JT goes and says, "What's the matter?" He says, "That guy, that guy that's running around the stage, he looks like a guy that tried to beat me up in high school. I swear to God." And he was hiding. And JT says, "No, that's my brother. That's my brother's having a good time. That's all." So then Marilyn came back out. They're all fucked up and screaming and yelling and all that shit, and then they're like little pussies, little skinny pussies. Adam Ant, now that I got to page 8, by the way, I see that
he had a stalker.
I see he physically fought people. Yeah, I like all that.
Stalker.
Yeah, fucked with the stalker,
he was
too.
The sexiest man alive at one point.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
By the way.
All right, yes, go
ahead. Stalkers, Shuli?
What's that?
Yeah.
You've had stalkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I married the hottest one.
Not only can you not get a supersized large drink in New York, starting yesterday, they outlawed orgasms. We'll be right back.
What is it exactly that they're giving away?
I think there's 2 different types that they're giving out. I'm not really sure. I didn't see the details, but they're vibrators.
So will you wait for it?
Sure. We might just grab some ice cream and go back.
Ice cream or vibrator? It's kind of like a tough decision.
It is. Yeah.
How big are they?
I'm also going to ask for snack food. The other one's snack
Do they look like hot dogs? Because they're being given out of a hot dog car, right?
Oh yeah, but I don't think they look like hot dogs.
Yeah, I didn't even look at them. I put them underneath my desk. And where does your boss think you are? Taking a walk.
Just away from my desk. She doesn't even know I left the building.
How did you find out about the vibrators?
Actually, my wife told me about it through Facebook. So,
were you given a mandate to come down and get them?
I pretty much was, by my wife. She actually wanted me to stop by. So she gave me a location and I'm here. She didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to get something free as well, not to mention the item.
How did you hear about it?
I heard about it from a coworker. 2 coworkers, actually.
And what made you want to come down and get one?
I heard they were pretty cool.
Are you married?
I'm not married. I'm single.
Are you in a relationship?
Not right now.
But it's good to have these on hand.
I guess you could say that. I might get some use out of it.
So sort of use alone or with friends?
Friends.
Yeah.
With female friends. You recently had experience with your Trojan vibrator?
Oh, not mine.
Not yours. Well, the product that was presented on TV. It was a wonderful experience. What if my wife, for our honeymoon...
So you don't feel at all sort of waylaid by it? Do you feel like you're...
You know, she's just... As long as you use it the right way, you know, it's not like you have to actually...
You mean not in the ass?
Yeah. How to put this. She enjoyed it.
So they opened up these vibrator pleasure carts, and the crowd was so big that I guess the mayor...
Hey, I'm Jillian Pensavalli on Buzz 60.
Turn it up.
The Great Vibrator Giveaway is back on. New York City is now allowing Trojan to hand out free vibrators. Lines stretch down city streets when the company's pleasure carts set up shop. Everything seemed to be going along just fine. But then the action was prematurely interrupted. A city official said the handout had to stop. Trojan didn't have a permit.
This woman sounds like she could use a little vibrating.
But during the switch off, calmer heads prevailed and the good vibrations were turned back on. It just goes to show you that sometimes you just need a little patience, some conversation. Take things slow. You'll get to that happy ending. But 60, now you know, pass it on.
So, Shuli, Howard started this on Wednesday, right? What? Didn't they buy the ads on Howard's show?
I think they... I mean...
that's what I'm reading. Yeah, they Howard read a live spot, and then the carts went out on the street, right?
Yeah.
You don't know this, do you?
No, I do. Well...
Shuli?
I don't... Yes, I do know about it.
Why are you stumbling around?
Because I don't know what I can say regarding this and what I can't, so I don't want to say anything.
What happened?
Remember what you just said about the political lady answering?
No, but it was a promotion. It was a paid live commercial.
And I went down and watched them hand stuff out. But yeah, they wrapped up pretty quick when I went down there. They packed up and they got the hell out of there pretty quick.
Why did the city think it was it? I thought maybe it was stopping traffic or something.
Yeah, they said the crowd was out of control, so then they had to buy a permit.
Because of vibrators?
Yeah.
What kind of vibrator is it? Is it one of the ones that's attached?
They're worried about a crowd of vibrators. They got Justin Bieber over here, 27,000 people line up the night before he's on the Today Show. That's okay. Woman can't shove a fucking head.
That's a Kentucky vibrator right there. That's it. There you go.
Woman can't put a gas-powered contraption in her snatch without fucking the man coming down. Yeah, this is a great booth. You guys are awesome. What? Oh, my God.
Man.
Here's your vibrator.
So they closed down the vibrator thing. They didn't have a permit for orgasms? What was the deal?
The crowd was getting out of control.
They were in a no-coming section of New York.
Yesterday with a permit.
All right. So now they're back out there. Well, that's good to hear.
So 10,000 people in New York now have new vibrators.
Wow. Honey, I feel romantic. Let me just
is it a
turn
vibrator,
this on real quick.
Or is it the thing that's attached to the rubber?
You look so hot.
It seems like it's in a box.
Thank you.
I mean, like a long...
What? I said thank you.
Oh, please give me cock. I want a cock. Please give me cock.
Romantically on the lips. I can't hear you.
You don't want a cock. You want a Coke, you idiot.
Let me put my protective goggles on.
All right, shut up. Speaking of dumb cocks, Joan Rivers
How dare you, sir?
I don't know what else to call her. Joan Rivers handcuffed herself to a shopping cart at Costco.
Well, I knew that was just
Walmart,
a matter of time.
No, Costco.
It was? Okay.
Because they
Then I heard
won't
it
sell
wrong
her
somewhere
book
else.
because it's dirty talk or there's a problem with it, and she handcuffed herself and then gave a speech. You have that, Al? Yep. You have Joan Rivers.
You Americans should have the right whether or not you want to read this book. Costco should not be like Nazi Germany. Next thing
Nazi
is
Germany.
burning the Bibles. Here we go. Attention Costco buyers. Come and buy my book. Banned by Costco. This is America. This is a freedom of speech. First Amendment right. This is America. We are here.
Oh, Jesus.
We are here.
That's the last thing Joan Rivers needs is a bullhorn.
Jesus Christ.
This is bigger than both of us.
It's bigger than both of us. Come on, Joe.
So they won't sell it because it's got dirty stuff in it or something? I don't.
Well, you know they had her escorted out, Jay. Not because of the handcuffing, because she didn't have her Costco card.
This was taken by the Indians.
What?
I live in New York. Those poor son of a bitches, $24 in the
It's wonderful. What is she, like 90 or some shit?
Costco killed Princess Diana.
I know you're trying.
79.
Excuse me.
By the way, this heat wave has been unbelievable. So unbelievable that a reporter in the middle of giving the heat wave report is overcome by the heat.
Shut up.
Overcome by the heat. No. The reporter's talking about the heat, and then in the middle of the thing, it can't go on. Al, do you have the poor reporter?
Couple of days, as you just heard from Matt, temperatures forecasting of 100 plus, and now local agencies and people throughout the area are busy preparing for the heat. 6 News reporter Mike Graves there talked to those people today and joins us live from World's Fair Park with more from the experts. Mike?
Yeah. Well, Janie Kristen, with triple digits expected tomorrow, we may see scenes even more like this. People trying to beat the heat and trying to stay cool. And tomorrow, and people.
He was overcome by the heat.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of the report. They just cut him off.
And he had a text that went out. I was like, oh, my God, it's so hot. I feel like I'm going to... And that was it. That was the last thing I got. It'd be great if
it's so hot. I better stop this text.
It'd be great those texting commercials.
You know what? I'm driving and it's really hot. I better stop.
It'd be great those texting commercials if they had like foul text, like you're sexting a chick and then you crash. Like, I can't wait to stick the head of my cock in your soaking wet.
Those are real
Imagine if Ira texted.
By the way, let's go to our roving reporter, Ira the weatherman, roving reporter. Ira, where are you today? Where are you today?
Hey, I'm around Fox and Friends, and people are so afraid even to come on radio even.
Are they afraid of radio or you?
After 4 or 5 weeks of this, I think they're catching on that they're going to be asked about abortion and Chick-fil-A and gay marriage.
And are
That's
you
what
gay
I think.
or straight?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're up to.
Well,
I'm better off going to Grand Central.
I love Ira's efforts in this.
Well, the problem is that at Grand Central, Ira, you'll find they're not giving away free food.
I know.
Yeah,
Well, you
they're
don't
begging
need
for it.
free food.
Ira, you need some new questions. Here's one. Walk up to people and just go, Jonestown, pro or con?
No, hold
Pro
on.
or con?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So you've asked people to come on the air, and no one wants to do it today. Maybe it's just one of those days.
It might be one of those days.
Is there any free food?
Oh, they got the same old garbage. They can have
He's complaining about the free food.
Only a Jew would do that.
They can have everything.
Is it barbecue
So
again?
you're tired of the barbecue?
Yes. I'm tired of the barbecue.
Who makes the barbecue? What company is it?
I don't know. It says Famous Davies. We cater. Pitt-Hugh. Famous Davies. And that says
Famous Dave's
They're
Barbecue.
Famous Dave's. Yeah.
Famous Dave's Barbecue.
Westbury, Long Island.
I see. Well, Ira, look, I'm sorry that it's not working out for you. Why don't you go over to the Today Show?
Today's show, there's nobody outside, Jay.
Oh, okay.
They're all broadcasting from London.
Go over to Magnolia.
I'll ask this guy. Hold on.
Go over to.
Hold on.
Would you like to be on radio with Jay Thomas? Okay. Jay, I got somebody.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Probably the first person.
All right. That's Ira, the roving reporter. Yes, sir. How are you today?
Hi, how are you? Jay.
Good. Yes. Yes.
What?
Yes.
Ira,
yes, sir.
What is your name? What is your name? What is your name?
What is your name? Doesn't answer.
All right. You're just having a bad day. You're just. You're having
somebody unbelievable. They're unbelievable around here, Jay. I'm better off going to 42nd Street and seeing the nice people over there.
Now, Ira, are you a Republican or a Democrat?
I'm a Democrat.
Well, you're surrounded by Republicans. That's your problem, and they can smell. They can smell They can smell the Obama on you. You know what I'm saying?
I can even hang around 49th Street and ask the people.
Hold on a minute. You want to attract... Wait a minute. Hold on. Ira, you're over at Fox. There's only one way to attract people. You have to start shouting out tax cuts. Tax cuts. Go ahead. Start saying tax cuts. Go ahead.
Tax cuts. Tax cuts.
Tax cuts. Tax cuts. People are going to think he's yelling cold cuts and bring him a
Anybody
fucking
looking
sandwich.
at you? Anybody coming over to you? Tax cuts. Tax cuts. Keep yelling. Tax cuts.
Tax cuts. Tax cuts. Nobody. Hold on.
Nobody coming.
Excuse me.
It's like fishing, Shuley.
People, come here, please.
Oh, they're running around.
They're running around.
No, that's not running,
Ira, you know
away, Ira.
Come up to the station. Thank you very much. Our roving reporter, Ira, who's gone to the same place every morning for the last 6 Fridays. Thank you very much, Ira.
Ira, yell out.
Okay, Jay.
Ira, yell out.
All right.
Up your butt with a coconut nut.
Yeah.
No,
right,
don't
good job.
Let's go. Let's go now. Frankie, is this Frankie Goes to Hollywood on line 4? You Frankie Goes to Hollywood? Who is this?
Hey, cheers, Jay. I figured it was obscure 80s artist day. I called in.
Well, you picked the good ones, fucker.
So we've got Frankie Goes to Hollywood is our special guest. You have a tour coming? What do you have planned?
Yeah, what are you and Rick Astley up to?
Nah, I ain't got much going on. I'm writing a play with the lead singer of Kaja Goo Goo.
That's one of those comedy words that never fails. Kaja Goo Goo.
Also, I'm trying to avoid getting the AIDS virus, you know.
So
how's that working out?
Your whole life is a throwback. You just stay in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right?
Excuse me, where are they serving the free food? I haven't eaten in 35 years.
Over at Fox and Friends.
If I knew that you could attract the crowd by yelling tax cuts, I would have done it years ago.
All right, Frankie Goes to Hollywood and Adam Ant in one day on the Jay Thomas Show. Unbelievable.
Somebody on Twitter said Jay always has the A-list guest from 1983.
Yeah. There he is.
Careful, he's going to charge you for this.
All right. I almost feel like it's a live concert.
I almost feel like it's the real Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Do you have any money I could borrow?
No, we don't. Yeah. For those of you who are wishing the show was already over, we feel the same exact way you do.
By the way, people on Twitter loving the show. Lance, my buddy, writes, these texting jokes are so
Fucking idiot. I'm laying in the middle of the street. I'm about to My boyfriend's about to put his dick in my
Okay, it means this is the last text I wrote before I crashed, and then shows it to the camera, and it just goes, "No, you're a fat."
You know, Gianna, even on the break, I became upset that 4 guys in your life struck you.
You have to,
you know what? Listen, you know
did
what?
They use closed fists? Did they close?
You
their
have to
fist
hear
on
the
you?
story of the last one.
Well, you know what upset him the most about this is that it turns out you could take a punch better than Jay, according to his boxing career.
No, you know what I'm thinking? Phil Mossy. You'd have fought him, beat the shit out of him. You'd have beat Phil Mossy in a minute, no problem. So the last one, is it a long story?
No,
or something?
no, it's a good story though. I was gifting him.
It's a good.
Jay's the only guy.
It's a good story.
A woman's about to tell a story about getting beaten 4 different times, and Jay goes, "Is it going to be long?"
No, I was going to tell one story.
Can you just speed it up? Like, give us the cliff notes on it.
How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling
This is
mentally?
the craziest one. I am gifting this boyfriend a threesome with my best friend.
All right.
Right?
Hold on a minute. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. We'll be right back. If you were with us a few minutes ago, Gianna had upset us. Certainly upset me. Maybe other people thought it was good. That 4 of her boyfriends, when she was young, had struck her. And they wanted her for her gorgeous body, her sexy voice, her lovemaking, her brain, all of those things.
And let's remind everyone, you wanted her to speed the stories up because we got Bananarama on line 4 we got to get to.
Hold on a minute. Scott of Arizona, who would you like me to interview next?
Yeah. I could get you an exclusive for Mike Score from Flock of Seagull.
Yes, all right. Thank you, Scott of Arizona. We're working on that one. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Now, Gianna, I wanted to go to break and come back because this was what they call an audience holder in programming.
A teaser,
talk.
huh?
It was the guy's birthday, and you had decided to give him a
No, it wasn't
threesome.
even his birthday. He just never had one. And I had this crazy
neither
friend.
is no one in the studio.
Wow.
We were having dinner with this crazy...
You know what? I haven't had one in a while.
In a while. You get married, those things go on the kibosh.
So now, I didn't mention my wife, did I?
No.
Yeah. It's something I do in my special alone time.
Well, you are in New Orleans.
I am.
I'm sure you can work that out.
So you talk to the guy. You have a girlfriend.
An opportunity arose. And
you two are going to all get together, and somehow this led to him wanting to beat the shit out of you. Let's hear the story.
A lot of pressure in a threesome.
Yeah.
And let's remind everyone, you were struck, you said 4 times, 4 different guys, right?
Yes,
in
4
the back.
different guys.
Was he hitting you in the back where you were going down on her?
Do you want to hear the story or not?
I just want to know, out of the 4 times, how many were your fault?
None.
Hold on one second. Let me turn these lights down and let me crank this chair back. All right, go ahead. All right, here we go.
How many punches before you squirt? Can I ask that?
Quiet.
All right, go ahead.
Now, you know what? Nobody interrupt her. Please tell the story. Go ahead.
An opportunity arose. I had this crazy girlfriend. We're having dinner. We had some drinks. She was up for it. And he's begging us because he never had anything, allegedly. So she made rules, which I don't think there should be rules in those situations. But she had a rule that he could not penetrate her, but everything else was okay.
Boo.
I know, right?
Nothing wrong. Wait, excuse me a second. There is nothing wrong with that rule at all.
That's like, come to the baseball game, but don't watch it.
But it didn't come from me. I didn't care.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. But if a woman said to me, I'm going to do something with another woman, but you can be with her, but not with me, that's perfect. Okay, go ahead.
It wasn't even about she and I being together the way you're going to think it was. So we get to the bedroom. She and I satisfy each other with toys. Mm-hmm. Then he was not satisfied yet, so she can't do something, but,
Take that down, Al. Take it out. Take it out. No.
Theater of the mind, Jay. Come on.
Yeah.
We're in a moment. We're in love. I climb on top of him. He says, get off me. I want to F whatever her name was. And I get off and I'm fucking pissed because he just insulted me. I'm just about to put him inside of me to please him, and he pushes me off of him. I guess, I'm sure, I don't blame him for not remembering the rules.
Is this in your book?
No.
It ought to be.
I don't remember him. He could have not remembered the rules.
If you wrote a book about this, there'd be a line of publishers waiting to publish this thing.
I could write a lot of stories about this.
Hold on one second. He forgot the rule about not penetrating.
No. Because he wanted, which I don't blame him. He's had sex with me a whole bunch of times. There's a new girl in the bed. So I walk out of the room. I didn't say a word. I just got up and walked out, and he comes after me.
The threesome thing has gone out the window.
It's gone awry.
Oh, too bad.
Wait, so I didn't say a word even to Ackerman. Just walked out, and he pushed me, and then I don't remember what he said, but he had punched me in the back 8 times. And this chaos ensued with him.
Like 50 Cent.
With him screaming at me.
What happened to the poor girl who didn't want to be penetrated?
I see the girl. We had this long apartment, this long hallway to the bedroom. Well, I'm in the middle of this chaos. I see her scoot out the door.
Oh, my God.
Which I don't blame her. He was scared.
And so he hadn't even come yet, and he starts hitting you.
Yeah. He was just saying, don't you turn your back on me. And I didn't say a word. I was the one who was pissed.
This is what it would sound like. Let's hear this.
Yeah.
So he left, and I was out of there in 20 minutes.
Wow.
With all my possessions.
Now I'm not hard anymore. What happened?
So it all started, it was going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a threesome. Now, was this in your younger days?
Yes.
I've punched my wife before, but it was with my finger in her asshole.
As an older guy, I got to tell you, if someone gives me rules, and I'm in a threesome,
and you're drinking,
I'm going to do exactly what I'm told. Because, to be honest, that's part of the fun of the deal.
So you approach threesomes like you approach your entertainment career.
Yes,
just tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
I am going to be... You tell me I can't penetrate. That's a turn on. Is that the most
effed up story?
Here's a great new title for your book: Fierce Over 40 Shades of Grey. From our buddy Mike on Twitter.
If you were writing, and I know you're excited about this book, this Fierce Over 40 and all, I'm going to be honest with you. If you wrote these stories of being hit and the sex and everything else, you would probably get people to buy your book. Don't write a book that tells people how to live their lives.
And lose weight. Any idiot could tell you how to lose weight.
I mean,
my book developed from the conversations in the beauty chair.
Oh, that's good. From women.
Yes.
From women.
I didn't just wake up and think I was so amazing that I had the answers to everything. But
yeah, but you need to have these sex stories, and you'll sell the book.
I'll add them in.
This idiotic woman. She's an idiot, a complete idiot, and the books are awful. They're the 1, 2, and 3 bestsellers in the United States. It's 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Bondage, 50 Shades of whatever. It's all totally made up. She's never had sex like this in her life. And if you see her and her husband, you know they don't have that kind of sex.
I don't think women are going to buy books about getting hit after a threesome.
Sure they will. Sure they will. All right, Ira, stop saying balls.
Catching up on his adamant notes.
Ira, we're done with him.
George of California, did you enjoy
from California?
Did you enjoy the threesome story just now, George?
Well, I enjoyed most of it. You kept interrupting. You're the only one who can interrupt the threesome story.
I did not interrupt. I really didn't interrupt.
You interrupted a whole bunch.
I did?
In the beginning,
yeah.
And I'd just like to say, I picked the right spots. I may have interrupted the Richard Lewis interview, but I shut the fuck up for this thing.
Richard Lewis.
Hey, who cares?
All right, you know what? Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. Play the music again, Al. Play the music again.
I'll tell you another story.
Hold on. All right, George, just sit right there. Gianna, tell the story again. I won't say a word.
I'll tell another story.
Go ahead.
It's the worst threesome ever. This really hot chick is sleeping at my house for a weekend. The first night she sleeps on the couch. The second night she gets into our bed. We start messing around. All she does is lay there.
Yeah, welcome to our world.
She doesn't do anything. I'm sitting like, when's this going to be over? Because, of course, my boyfriend likes it. I'm just laying there just waiting for it to be over. It really wasn't a threesome. It was a twosome with them.
You see why I interrupt, George?
At that point, yeah.
They're very overrated.
All right.
Keep the music on. I have a story I want
to tell.
No, I do.
What?
When I was a camp counselor, we were on a hike once. And I had this urge.
Wait, Julie, what kind of urge?
Well, it was an urge in
Where was the camp at?
In my loins. Let's just say that. And I had heard from a friend that you could pull off a certain maneuver with a belt. So I wrapped this belt around the tree and started taking a shit. And the belt snapped, and I fell into my own feces.
There you go.
In the middle of campground.
I used to have this patio furniture that I would get, laid on all the time. I used to call it my loin chair. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. I just lay out this furniture, and before the night was over, something would happen. By the way, a horrifying story is coming out of Delaware that broke last night with Nancy Grace. This famous...
Put the music back on.
No.
Oh, no?
This nationally known pediatrician who has been on Oprah Winfrey. He's been on Larry King. He's a guy that gives all sorts of discusses research. He's been in magazines and everything else. They found out that he has been waterboarding his 11-year-old daughter and was arrested. I mean, like tying her up, and the wife with him. Can we go to Nancy Grace, please? Big Al, Nancy.
Delaware. Water torture, where a victim is forced upside down, essentially, while high-velocity water is forced up the victim's nose and mouth till they go numb, they pass out. It's a horrific torture. And no, it's not going on today in Nazi Germany, not the Hanoi Hilton, not Vietnam. It's Delaware.
Damn.
The mastermind? A TV pediatrician. So I want to go straight out to Kelly Steele, news director at WGMD, joining me from Delaware. Kelly, this doctor has mingled with Barbara Walters, Stossel, Larry King, Oprah, for Pete's sake. And this apparently isn't the first time, Kelly. But let me just start, Kelly Steele, with the water torture.
Thank God
the
you weren't trying to tell your
water
threesome
torture
story in front
of
of
this
this broad.
11-year-old little girl. What happened?
Well, here's the thing, Nancy. I think you spelled it out best. Thank you for having me. This is the same water torture that CIA operatives and others use in the global war on terrorism. So it's a heinous crime. It's an unfortunate situation. It's a heinous crime. This doctor, this pediatrician, he was working at this Milton practice 1 day a week for the past 2.5 years or so. And this all started last month, in the month of July, as a domestic dispute after a neighbor reported him dragging this 11-year-old daughter, his stepdaughter, across the driveway in the gravel. So that's how all of this started, as a domestic dispute.
A domestic dispute. Kelly Steele, news director, WGMD. Are you telling me it was a domestic dispute that started between him and his wife? Or started between him and
the way we were described by state police, the neighbor saw him dragging his daughter across the gravel. The police would not talk to us about it initially. This all started on July 12th, I think. Dr. Morse grabbed his daughter by the ankle. The neighbor saw him drag her across the gravel driveway. The kid is kicking and screaming. He then allegedly takes the child inside the house. He starts to spank her. The very next day, he's arrested and he's charged with 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, 1 count of third-degree assault in connection with the incident, and he posts $750 bail, and he's released.
Right there, Kelly Steele. $750 bond. That, you have to pay about $75. With me is Kelly Steele out of Delaware, also joining me. Brett.
Thank you. All right, she went on and on. The guy.
She sounds like she's all wound up.
Do we know what this kid did?
Well, didn't listen, apparently.
Yeah, they said, now this is unbelievable. He has opposition issues with the child. And he's a doctor, so he said that. He also, on his website, this guy, Dr. Morse, was married before, and he somehow had some struggles, and he said that he was given an imaginary falcon, told him to move in the dark of night to the East Coast, where his destiny lay, and he could find rich soil for his big idea. And this big idea, which he spells out, just says big idea in capitals. People from all over the world have asked him to talk about his big idea, and he won't ever tell you what it is.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Yeah, what's the big idea? But he says that when he talks about it, he noticed that most people that want to hear it have had a child who has died. Do these people who have this guy or used to have this guy on, do they not at least get the shit that I get on? Like, I knew all about Adam Ant's mental problems and everything else. Do they not look on the internet and get at least the information that Andrea, who books all the guests, sees? The guy's a fucking nut. Complete nut. Waterboarded his daughter as an attention getter. That's what he said. By the way, he's out on $14,000 bond or something. It's like nothing.
Jay,
yes, sir.
I
yes,
hope
sir.
Nancy Grace gets jumped in a threesome.
No, she's not. You can't hope that on. Now, Ira, would you explain to everybody out there what is waterboarding? What is that?
Waterboarding is it's like jumping into a water.
Now, do you're forced to jump in? Why is it a bad thing, waterboarding?
It's bad. You can get hurt.
You can get injured.
Yes.
Who does waterboarding?
Some of these people that in the countries they do this.
Various countries they do it.
Yes.
All right. Would there ever be a time that an 11-year-old child should be waterboarded?
No, he could get hurt.
I got you. All right. So I just wanted to check out.
Don't do any waterboarding. Go to a beach and have a good time and enjoy yourself. Lie on the beach. If you want to lie naked, lie naked.
Have you ever gone to a nude beach, Ira?
I went to Tar Beach.
Well, that doesn't sound very inviting. What?
Tar Beach is on the roof of a building. Yeah, Tar Beach. Yeah. Tar Beach is on a building, right?
There is a naked beach out in Queens.
Yeah. Have you ever been to it?
Never.
What's it called?
Never. Mm-hmm. Now, Ira, why wouldn't you go to a naked beach and do your man on the street, your roving reporter?
Well,
go to a different place every week.
Know where I would like to go this coming Sunday is.
No, I'm not on the air Sunday.
If Shuli wants to meet me this Sunday, I'll be around 49th Street watching the parade, the Dominican parade of Manhattan.
So you're going to a parade for people from the Dominican Republic.
That is right.
Will you not feel lonely there, being the only Jewish man?
No, I will not, Jay.
Really?
I will not.
Sorry to interrupt,
will there be,
Jay. But
any free food there?
No free food.
Not free.
Guys, our next guest is on line 2, Doug Henning, if you want to get to that.
That's a blast from the past.
Love that name. How fucking high were TV executives back in the days when this guy showed up in a star-covered jumpsuit with glitter and tells him he talks him into one special after another.
Is he still alive?
I don't think so.
Well, the other guy. Who's the other guy that's worth $1 billion? The other magician, the guy with the black hair. What's his name?
Copperfield?
Or Lance Burton?
Yeah, David Copperfield. I just read he's worth $1 billion fucking dollars. I mean, he made an elephant disappear or something.
Listen, he made those stories of chicks accusing him of doing shit to him on an island disappear. That guy is amazing.
Yeah. But I went to his show, and an elephant comes out, and then a sheet goes over it, and all this stuff. And it was all like, I don't know where the elephant went. I'm sure it went under the stage, right? So they keep the sheet up there, and the elephant stood on like an elevated stage, and the sheet stays up, and then he does all kind of stuff. And now the elevator must have gone down, and the elephant goes down below the stage, and then the sheet falls, and the crowd goes crazy because the elephant's gone. So I turn to someone and I go, that elephant probably stood on a on an elevator and then just went below this. Don't ruin it for us, please. That's the guy said to me. I said, don't ruin it for you. It's not a fucking trick. What is it? I mean, that's his big thing. He makes an elephant disappear on stage. The elephant would stand, and an elevator would bring the elephant down below the stage. And then he would drop the curtain. I paid like, $200 to see that shit. I couldn't believe this guy.
I saw a guy once in Vegas do that with like a crocodile that was like 15 feet long, and he brings it into this cage, and he gets in the cage with the thing. Its mouth is taped up.
Now this I like. Who's this?
And they raise. I don't remember. I was really young, but I'll never forget this trick. They raise the cage up, and then they move it over the audience. It's not even on stage. It's up in the air, and it's over the crowd. And they like count to 3, and they open the doors of the cage, and both him and the crocodile, instead of falling on the audience, disappear.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I would pay any amount of money.
It was
to see
amazing.
that.
I was maybe 6, 7 years old. I still remember that trick like it was yesterday.
That guy should be famous.
He should be.
He should have made his penis disappear in any number of big, beautiful models, that guy. And who's the guy that holds his breath underwater and freezes?
David Blaine.
I know this is terrible, but I hope he dies doing one of those things. I have no interest in him living.
He keeps doing tricks in Harlem. He will be dead, because if you see the reaction of black people when this guy does a card trick, I've never seen anything like it. It's like he turns around and he's wearing a Klan hood all of a sudden. These people, they run, and I mean, it's a card trick. I don't get it.
What do you mean, they run away from him?
They run away. He's like, he'll like burn a piece of paper. Like, he'll tell him, pick a card, remember your card.
Magic power.
And then he'll burn a piece of paper.
That's right.
And then he'll take the ashes from the burnt paper and rub it into his arm, and the number of the card will mysteriously appear on his arm. And the black guy's like, fuck that shit! And they all turn around and just start take off running.
Well, that's that voodoo shit.
Yeah, they're not into that.
Jay.
Yes, Ira.
I've seen the elephant trick before. I can tell you how it is.
Go ahead.
No. It was supposed to be a text joke. It just ended at it's, and he ad-libbed is.
Ira, you're supposed to stop short.
Read it again, just like it's written.
As if, here we go.
Rewind.
I've seen the elephant trick before. I can tell you how it's
perfect.
All right, we'll be right back. There you go.
Welcome back to the Jay Thomas Show. Our next guest, Rick Astley, is going to be joining us here in a moment. And here's Jay.
They're still playing those songs on like the light station.
I was there's a new thing now. There's these religious stations, and for the first 30 or 40 seconds of the song, you think it's a rock and roll station. And then you hear the words, He's my savior, yeah! You'll hear some shit about the savior. And then at the end of the song, this big drum roll hits, and the announcer goes, your modern worship hit station.
Wow.
Your modern worship
Jay,
hit station.
listen to this. The girl who had the threesome, her son is in a Christian rock band.
Do they get groupies?
Yes, tons.
You know that, yeah, they do.
But what do they do? They all go and pray after the show together?
I don't know.
Do you know that there's some huge number, like 80% of the heavy metal groups they're big Christians and shit? By the way, what about the guy that shot up the Sikhs? He was in not one but 2 white supremacist bands.
Well, maybe he's just a really good musician.
They had white supremacist bands.
No, they have tons of white...
I opened for a couple of them once.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. But I would take the gig if the money was right.
White supremacist punk bands. Yes, Ira.
How about the guy that wants to shoot everybody where Mike Tyson is? You think that's nice? That guy should be killed altogether.
Hold on a minute. Mike Tyson's play on Broadway?
Yes.
Somebody's threatened to shoot. I didn't read. Where did you hear this?
Everybody.
Wait a minute. Where did you hear this?
In the news. It was on the news the whole week.
You should You should go down there and warn Mike.
Al, try and find out who wants to shoot the Mike Tyson play.
All right.
Jay, I have a threesome story to share
hold on.
with
right
you.
Hold on, let's put on some music. Go ahead, Ira.
Wow. All right, Ira.
One day, I was home alone and thought how great would it be if two other people were here. Then I went to the casino.
It kind of had the same ending as Gianna's second thing.
It really did.
One guy on Twitter wrote, you homos shut up so I can listen to Gianna. And then he goes, never mind, shitty ending to that second story.
Mike Tyson's play, The Undisputed Truth, it's $200 for a ticket. And he gets on stage and he tells stories I'm sure we've all heard before. And Spike Lee directed it. And the woman, he's married for the third time. One of his wives was an MD. I mean, it's
really?
beside Robin Givens, right? The second wife was an MD. And now the third wife, she says after she would meet him at clubs, she's gorgeous. He's the only man that she couldn't get over. What? I mean, I don't know that he has any money left at all or whatever, but that's impossible to imagine. That, and she seems pretty educated.
So she tried to leave him and then she couldn't, so then she married him?
Couldn't leave him. Couldn't leave him.
Wow.
Her name is Kiki.
Is that before?
The relationship took a serious turn when Kiki was sentenced to federal prison in 2008.
Come on.
For being on the family payroll of her father's company, charged with making fraudulent city contracts and donations to a Muslim school. Her father remains in prison. She let Mike Tyson impregnate her prior to going to prison.
Listen, in all fairness, when Mike Tyson approached you, you'd let him impregnate you, too. You wouldn't be able to say no to that guy.
Prison in common.
She only served 6 months because they let her out to have the kid. So she let him impregnate her. And they were both battling drug addictions, and they were both destitute. That's what she says. That is so crazy.
Like that they released her from
They wanted
prison.
to live together to pool their resources, but Tyson's probation for when he went to jail for rape, he was accused of, convicted of rape, would not allow him to do it. Convicted felons cannot live together when they're on probation. Oh, that makes sense.
But what a great reality show, huh?
He would go on 3-day drinking binges. I didn't know where he was.
Booze and convicted felon buddies.
Chasing him down to the justice of the peace.
It's unbelievable. I mean,
there's someone for everyone, man.
Now, years ago, Robin Givens' sister was trying to be a tennis player or was something. So one day I go to a city tennis court in Los Angeles, and I'm playing tennis, and in the next court I hear this woman talking, and she's talking about her sister's husband. And after a few minutes, I realize that the girl, I believe, is Robin Givens' sister. And she said stuff that led me to believe that he hit Robin Givens. And I think he finally said it on TV. And these big football players and stuff. How come these punches don't kill these women? I mean, if Mike Tyson hit me, I was sore
for 3 weeks from my beating.
Oh, you were sore for 3 weeks?
Which beating?
Why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you call the cops?
Because nothing happens.
Really?
Nothing happens, no.
You don't watch Cops? Something.
You think people?
Something
you think
seems to
that your
happen when they show up.
You think your mom and your dad don't like you because they think you bring trouble on yourself?
No.
That you work to get into trouble? That you hang out with troubled types of people? Really?
I think
you went out with me one night and told me about the boyfriend you had. And you said he goes to bed at 3 in the afternoon or something because he gets up at 4 in the morning and he's saving to buy a bar.
That's not what I said.
Even I was laughing at it.
And so I said, that sounds awful. And you said, oh, I'm so happy to be out with you tonight. I never get to go out and everything else. And then you broke up with the guy the next day.
Yeah, because I wasn't having any fun. I had a lot of fun at Studio 54. Not that I need to go to clubs, but I like to go out.
And that's what I told you. So you went home and broke up with him.
So what? So what you're complaining about?
I'm not complaining. I was bringing it up. I was just saying, you pick. I mean, look, if I had a girlfriend.
We had a very good friendship. That's why that dragged on.
Well, he went to bed at 4 PM or whatever it was.
I thought I could deal with it, but it was not compatible. No. But we have very good friendship.
Okay. Did you ever offer him a threesome?
No.
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 Now we know why that didn't work out.
Well, after the last couple, why would I?
Hey,
Ira, when you were a little boy...
A shot not taken's a goal not scored.
When you were a little boy and your mother took you to the swimming pool.
My name's
on
yes.
Did you ever urinate in the pool?
Never, but I seen other people piss in the pool.
Oh, my God.
You watched others piss in the pool?
Yes.
What, like they were standing outside of the pool pissing in it? Like,
They were inside the pool pissing.
How do you know they were pissing?
I know
they were
inside. I know they were. A person once
because the water tasted funny?
In Orchard Beach.
Oh, in Orchard Beach.
Oh, yes. This is at the beach, and you know they're peeing.
Yeah, all right. Well, our Olympians. Yes.
Gianna, your taste in men is like my taste in fashion.
All right. Has anyone ever hit you in the face for putting on pants that don't fit? and wearing a belt that you should have thrown away like 9 years ago? All right. Let's go to Ryan Lochte, who was talking to Ryan Seacrest in one of his in-depth interviews.
Get ready for dueling Ryan douches, ladies and gentlemen.
About peeing in the pool. Go ahead, Al. Hit it.
Question. We read something, and we were talking about this earlier. Do any of the athletes pee in the pool, like from nerves or anything?
I said absolutely.
We'd heard that they do.
Of course.
I don't think.
No idea.
I don't think there's anything odd about it, Ryan. I grew up swimming. Well, Ryan did too. I swam for a lot of years, and it was no big deal.
I think there's just something about getting into chlorine water that you just automatically go.
Did you pee in any of these races in London?
During the races, but I sure did before in warm-up.
Yeah.
They don't call them warm-up for nothing.
Peas in the warm-ups.
Oh, and everything's fine with that.
Was that Savannah Migraine?
Yeah, right.
Doing the reporting with it? I know. You know what? I've already heard that Matt Lauer is sick of her already, too. You know, I love Matt Lauer. He's just sick of all of them. All of them.
You remember, like, what was it? The Olympics where that diver, Greg Louganis, he hit his head and cut his head open.
Blood everywhere.
And then they found out, I guess, he was HIV positive.
Yeah.
And it seems to me, but it seems to me people are freaking out more about the peeing in the pool than the guy with HIV positive bleeding in the pool.
Well, you know, urine is sterile.
Right.
That's why you can drink it and touch it. Maybe later on after it, cools and bacteria, gathers. But it's the filtration system of your body, and it comes out, hot and kind of. Well, that's what it is. It's a filtration system of your body, Ira.
Jay!
You think Michael Phelps pees in the pool? Do we have any audio on him?
Jay!
There are a lot of questions.
What?
Yeah.
A lot of people, they piss in the bathtub.
I don't think so.
I think so.
FYI, Jay.
Really? Yeah, I don't think so.
There are a lot of questions people want to know about the nitty-gritty of swimming every day, especially in competition. Ryan Lochte reports had come out that he had actually urinated in some of the pools. Is that something you have ever done?
I mean, I think everybody pees in the pool. It's kind of just, like, I don't know, it's kind of, a normal thing to do for swimmers. When we're in the water for 2 hours, we don't really get out to pee. We just go whenever we're on the wall. Chlorine kills it, so it's not bad.
Nice. Well, I guess they all do it now.
Jay!
Yes,
Ira. The person's bladder must be really, really bad if he pisses.
Just read what's written there.
Jay, I pee until I make my own pool. Number one and number two.
Yes.
Jay, can we book Wang Chung for next week's show?
Speaking of being in trouble, Wang Chung, what was that song? the big hit record they had, something.
Everybody
tonight,
Wang
whatever.
Chung tonight?
Okay, I worked at a station called
Walla Walla Bing Bang. Ching
Right.
Chung. Ching
I
Chung
worked at a
Chung.
station in L.A., and it was called Power 106. We played, dance music, and it was the number one station. And we didn't play the Wang Chung record. It was a big hit, but we didn't play it. Now, for whatever reason, the programming department, the music guy, whatever it was, but Kiss played it, and every major station was playing it. So I did a funny story on my number one morning show about Connie Chung, right? Remember when she was a big deal? And then we played Wang Chung tonight as a joke.
Nice.
Show is over.
I got the joke.
Show is over. And the program director's name was Jeff Wyatt. He calls me into his office and tells me that I broke the format. Yeah, we were asking earlier about me, and I go, what? He goes, well, you played a song that we don't play. You played Wang Chung. And I said something like, why, you didn't get your envelope for it this week or something like that? You didn't get your pay. You didn't get paid to play it. And, yeah, that was the kind of shit that I had to live through. It was just unfucking believable, the idiocy of these, and you guys, of course, Howard was over there telling everybody to go get fucked, right? And he would do his own thing. I had a fucking mortgage and, kids and everything else. And so finally I said, okay, I'll never do it again or whatever the fuck it was. That's the kind of shit that would happen. I mean, I got in trouble for having Ira on the air when I worked for Clear Channel at Jammin' 105. They kept saying, why do you keep having this guy on the air with you? I said, I think he's funny, and he's our average listener. And do you remember that, Ira? They asked you not to come on the air
remember.
Anymore. Yeah. So you don't have to come on the air.
Apparently it didn't bother him. He's smiling from ear to ear.
By the way, you'll be excited
and that's
to hear.
why the show is number one.
This
You've got
big fat,
only the best people over here. You got Shuli.
Yeah.
You got Gianna. You got me.
You got your Wang Chung impression? Do your Wang Chung impression
and
again.
You got Chris. And we shouldn't forget our friend Garrett, who took a few days off to relax from
It's like an award show. We should just start playing music to wrap up his speech.
Okay, thank you very much.
Jay, you've only got the best. And I saw the letter last week that somebody complimented me on a great job that I do.
Well, that's wonderful.
I know I got a lot of fans out there, Jay.
All right. You know what? Whatever I was going to say, I don't remember anymore.
Suck the life out of you.
For those of you that are fans of Honey, what's that woman's name? Honey Boo Boo? You know her?
Honey Boo Boo, yep.
Yeah. She has her own show now. Is that what they're telling me? And they'd like us to run the commercial. Would you please? She has the little girl that she puts in the in the beauty contest and all that. This is her promo. This is why we're not on TV. Go ahead.
This is my crazy family. I have 3 sisters. Parker's the craziest, Anna's the pregnantest, and Jessica's my favorite, like my BFF. Boston's family is Mama. Mama! Oh my God!
My name is Mike. My nickname is Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear, my baby daddy.
We got too much estrogen in the house. Need some testosterone.
Sugar Bear!
We got a lot of work to do before the pageant.
Come here, help me, y'all. It's gonna look.
But it is summertime, so we've got to make some time for some fun. Our family is crazy.
Whoa!
Who is it? We like to be ourselves, but you like us, so you don't like us. We just don't care. We love our little lives, and we're having fun doing it.
I love me some.
There you go. You watch that show, Shuli?
No, I have not gotten around to that.
They're giving her her own show.
Yet.
No, they're giving her her own show.
They can give her 3. I ain't gonna watch.
She's the big fat mama of the little pretty girl. How is it that that little girl's not pretty? And how is it that the big, fat, ugly mothers have these cute little girls? Gianna, is your mother big and fat and ugly?
My mother was only obese from after my little brother was born till I was 13, but she's been thin since then.
When you say obese, you mean embarrassing?
You've skipped,
Yes,
you've
yeah.
skipped fat. Yeah, you've skipped fat.
I think it's
She went from fat to no overweight, no pleasantly plump. She went to obese.
She was obese, yes.
Wow.
Fat.
Wow.
Jay.
And how
For a
did
while.
Now wait a minute. There's another book. How did your mother lose the weight? How
My
did she
mother
become
was
skinny?
one of the first people to ever do Optifast, and she had that stomach staple thing.
Optifast.
The Optifast.
sounds like a
You
superhero.
just when you eat, you just shit immediately. Is that what that thing does?
No, you throw up.
Oh.
Oh.
The stomach thing, yeah.
Jay.
You know what? That's a lot better.
Yeah. It's messy
What is
the
it,
other
Howard?
way.
Jay.
What do you want? What?
Will they make an English version of this show?
No, I don't think so.
The Jay Thomas Show.
I don't even think they're going to do that thing where you can archive it, you know? The other day, I said, hey, are we doing this archive thing? And Garrett says, yeah. He says, Opie and Anthony they've archived their show for two weeks. You can only hear hours for the 2 hours. They archived 2 hours of the show. So, I don't know. Just no one. It's just sad. It's all very sad.
Well, Jay, next week we might be in Mars or Jupiter doing the show.
Now, what do you think of the thing that landed on Mars? What do you think they're going to find there?
They're going to find everything, gold and everything.
Really? They're going to find
Yes.
gold on Mars? You know what? If he's correct,
I can tell you, no
guarantee
one has
surely-
that theory.
You know what? No one's going to be going, it's too expensive to fly to Mars. There'll be people flying to fucking Mars in
Wait.
2 minutes.
El Al will be the
Okay.
first airline to fly to Mars.
Yeah. Only you could have said that.
Come on, Jay.
Shuli Agar Steinberg. Thank you
Come on,
very much.
Jay. We can do
Wow.
our show from Mars.
You
We can
usually
do it so
do.
many places.
All
They
right.
Aren't
used
we
to be
already
this-
doing that?
Here,
All right, Al,
you
pretend
see,
he's in the middle of a tweet and let's
Can
stop.
I tell you what?
We have Jeff Furlot trying to find the lead singer of Pet Shop Boys so we can have him on next Friday. I think this is a remix, Al. The remix, Al. Because the original was so gay. The original
So
is
gay.
very,
It says this is the original from '84.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking the reason we're hearing it differently is because technology is so advanced now.
Maybe.
Because I heard a lot of sounds I've
We
never
can
heard
try
before.
this one. Let's see. Hold on.
a lot different.
This one sounds a lot gayer. Yeah, this is good. Real good.
West End Girls.
Maybe they took them out of circulation.
I just picture this in the background as two guys have this conversation. You don't have to tell me. I lost 4 teeth at Fire Island. Oh, this is my jam. Turn this up.
Where don't they sing West End Girls? When does that happen?
I remember looking at them thinking, when did they shove pets up their ass? Because of their name and the look. And
You know what, Gianna? Why do women like these skinny, feminine-looking rock stars? Why do they
Just
like
because
those
they're
guys?
rock stars. If they were like, on the
But
radio.
I don't get it. They're skinny and they're effeminate and I mean when you go to bed with a guy like that, you're like, it's like holding on to a piece of bacon or something. It's like,
yeah, but they don't
it's so
care.
fucking. Don't you? I mean, but don't you want to? Doesn't a woman want to like hold like a man?
Yeah, I love the weight of a man's body on top of
Yes,
him.
of course
right.
you do.
Mm-hmm.
not when they're punching you, of course.
No,
just when they're laying on you.
punching me.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the third
Not when they're
version.
trying to. Not when they're trying to. When are they going to
This
fucking
is the
sing,
original.
Al?
This is it.
Here we go.
Pointing at your head, you think you're mad, too unstable, kicking in chairs and knocking down tables in a restaurant in a West End town. Call the police.
You're knocking down tables in a restaurant in a West End town. I want you to come and suck me. Suck on me now. Yeah. Come on now. You're knocking down tables. You're beating up girls in a West End town. All right. Get rid of those fruits.
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
Jay!
Yes, Al.
I took a dump that was better than this crap.
Speaking of gay, three guys are driving down the street and a club catches on fire. Al, let's just listen to three gay guys, and a club catches on fire.
The Luby's is on fire. Girl, that restaurant is...
Oh my God, no, that's yesterday's.
Oh my God,
the
no.
The bar and grill.
The bar.
It's full... No. Oh, it's this fucking place.
Isn't that yesterday's?
That's not yesterday.
Oh my God, you can feel the heat.
Man, that's yesterday's. I was freaking out because I was like...
Oh my God. And it's raining. And it's raining.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And it's raining.
Oh my God.
How could they do that?
You know,
just let it rain like that.
All of us, we all have, children, and you want the best for them, and kids are odd, and even grown up children are odd. And the other day, I was sitting in the airport waiting to fly here, and these two guys walked by me. Both of them about 6'1", wearing short shorts, and their stomachs are showing, and they're wearing these little half T-shirts, and they've got bleach blonde hair, and they've got kind of girly-looking boots that they're wearing. And I'm sitting there going, I don't know what... If your kid's gay, that's one thing. But if he's a flaming gay guy, and he's flitting around and dresses like that and everything else, I have to tell you, I don't know what the fuck I would do. I mean, in fact, I would probably say to one of my sons, I go, look, it's okay to be gay, but you can't be a flaming gay person until I'm dead, okay? Because I can't, I mean, I love you.
Just tone it down while I'm breathing type of thing?
Yeah, I can't be around you. I can't be, and I don't know.
I'm sure
I don't
he'll
know
take that in stride. I'm sure the kid will be happy with that.
And when we were at Studio 54 that night, the company hired the transsexuals that were like all over like 6'2" or 3". Remember that?
Yeah,
Jenna?
it was just like the real club.
But the weird thing is all I could think was, what the fuck would I do if that was my son? What would I do? I don't know. Or what would I do if I had a daughter and, oh God, this happened to Annette Bening. And
they have a wacko kid?
No, he's the sex change deal.
Really?
Yeah. So what's his name? Warren Beatty. Wow. He's a stone piece of ass his whole life. She's a fine as shit. And it's like shit. I don't know. It's like, look, could you do all that shit, after I'm dead? Just do all that shit later. I don't know. Jesus. God forbid. And don't go on the goddamn Facebook with that shit.
I like how you're sitting here thinking, what would I do if my kid was flaming gay? And without even taking a breath, you bring out the statement that Warren Beatty was a stone cold piece of ass. What do you think your kids are thinking right now? Wish Dad wasn't so flaming gay on the radio?
No. I mean, he's a handsome man.
Yeah, well,
fucked all the women and everything else.
That's a much better way of saying it.
I have to meet Jay's family before I die.
Well, you
so
will.
Does Jay.
No, you'll meet them. They're fine. And look, but I can't help it. I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. Well, fine. Let her out after I'm dead. That's all I ask. Let her out. You can hold it. Listen, I've held back my real feelings for both my parents are dead. I couldn't have done this show while they were alive. I waited. All right. Al, we have to take a break. Is that right? Okay, we'll be right back. Sounds like the same song, doesn't it?
Give it to me one time now.
This sounds like the one we just played, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The beginning of both those songs sound exactly the same.
And this is Frankie Goes to Hollywood, right?
Yep.
Oh, you know what this is about, don't you? Yeah, relax.
Oh.
You know what I mean. Relax.
Don't do
Relax.
it.
Don't tense up.
What?
Yeah.
Don't tense up.
Well, we've done it again. We have done it again. Almost out of time. Ira, what do you do? Well,
Jay, people
Ira,
are tweeting me their wives' pictures now.
Really? That they want to have threesomes?
I'm gonna be counting my toenails all weekend long.
Well, I can't wait for that.
Yes. And also my fingers.
So these guys are offering up their wives as threesomes with you?
Yep.
Now, will you consider any of them?
Sure.
So why do you have this ridiculous book about
really
whatever? There's got to be a sex book.
Write a fucking manual on threesomes and get it over with.
Nobody they don't need fucking advice.
It's like me writing a book about being a slam dunk champion in the NBA.
How about my new book, 50 Shades of Success? You need to write a book about threesomes.
I'll write it this weekend, since according to Ira, it's going to rain.
Here's the title.
And you need to write about when you were taken off by that religious sect and driven to New Jersey and all that stuff.
Just change stuff to like hot
That he
outfits and oil. And
yeah, I'll never forget that.
Here's the title of the book, just one word. Boom, big letters. Walmart's not going to carry it, but it'll sell. Whore. Boom, done. Can you say bestseller list?
That's at Twitter.
No, the title of the book the title of the book is How I Was Hit 8 Times in the Back During a Threesome. That's the title. That would
I'm
make
definitely
me buy the
picking
book
that one up at the airport. Oh, yeah, you know that sound. It's time to get it on. Yeah.
This is the president of Steel making his wife come.